What up? What up? What up? Welcome back. Welcome to another show, one of the dopest shows on YouTube where we talk about everything under the sun as long as we get back to the money, real conversations, and real solutions. I'm your host, Courtnee Edgar. What's the word, my people? What's the word, my ENG family, bro? How are y'all feeling today on this fabulous Sunday, man? I hope y'all are doing great. I hope y'all are doing wonderful. You know, and what a blessing to be alive. You feel me? Listen, we got a lot of topics to cover today, so I'm not gonna waste as much time with this intro, or just I just want to make sure that y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit the bell notification, so that way you won't miss any of the live streams, you won't miss any of my video uploads, you won't miss any of my shorts. That's the reason you want to make sure you hit the bell notification, all right, and just make sure you like and share. And if you know other people that want to rock out with people like us, the ENG community, make sure you share the live. Make sure you share the platform. All right. So before we get started, let me send this off really quick. Got something I need to send off real fast. My bad, people. And mind you, like this ain't like formal. So for the people who are gonna rewatch this, I need y'all to understand something. This ain't like a formal live stream, right? Where everything just gonna be knit tight and straight to the point how y'all like it. No, we gonna take some time. It's basically almost like an hour reel. Only difference is I'm at a desk. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. All right. But before I do, let me let me send this to my fam bam real quick. All right. Almost there, y'all. I'm just putting this 1 second. Um, um, mm, 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 mm. All right, we Gucci. We there now. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. First topic that we're gonna cover today. This Austin Metcalf and this Carmelo Anthony topic is still going on. Many people still talking about it. Many people are still in the uproar about it. And I believe Carmelo Anthony, he's going to do an appeal. So he's trying to raise some money off of that, off of the appeal, for the appeal, as well as I think Charleston White, I think he's trying to raise money to help with that, help the family out and different things like that. So I'm gonna play 3 different videos. I'm gonna play a video from a person who's reacting to a video, and then I'm gonna turn around and give a watch. We're gonna watch a video from Austin Metcalf's father, and then we're gonna watch a portion of it from Stephen A. Smith, and then we'll give our thoughts and our opinions on it. All right, so let's go ahead and rock out.
I don't like this take, but Carmelo Anthony did need to be put in jail. He, in fact, did murder that boy in cold blood. But the larger conversation I feel like that does need to be had is between parents and their children, right? Because, and I hate to say this, but I fear that his parents failed him by not teaching him what self-defense is. I said the same shit in the Mackenzie Shirley case, etc. I feel like as parents, we're losing the art of teaching our children survival skills. Self-defense being one of them. I say it all the time, but self-defense is not self-offense. What does that mean? If somebody hits you with their face, if somebody hits you with their hand, you can use less or equal force to combat them, to defend yourself, right? So if the kid punched him, yes, he can use his hands. He can punch him. He can hit him. He can do whatever he needs to do to defend himself. He punched him. He stabbed him. Y'all aren't seeing the correlation there. He punched him. He stabbed him. That is beyond self-defense. You are no longer defending yourself. You are now on the offense. You are the one. You are the aggressor. Not to mention, there are multiple people in that tent. There were people of color. There were kids of color. There were black kids in that tent saying the kid asked him to leave the tent multiple times. And Carmelo was like, hit me, do something. Come here, touch me. He was agitating the situation. He was not In the defense, he wasn't playing defense. He was literally begging the kid. He was egging the kid on to put his hands on him. Was the kid right for putting his hands on him? Absolutely not. But you're definitely not right for going and stabbing somebody. That's not how self-defense works. And we need to start teaching our children that. If somebody comes at you and they have a knife or a gun of something that could kill you, that is of lethal force, yes, then you can grab a knife, a gun, something of lethal force to then defend yourself. Yeah. But if somebody is not presenting that to you at that time, no, you can't just pull out a gun and shoot them. No, you can't just pull out a knife and stab them, because that is in fact murder. And now the other thing that I'm seeing is, well, it's
she cooking right now, but I want to throw this in too, because I've always said you can't control how somebody reacts to you, right? You can only control how you respond. So while that may be true, because two things can be true at the same time, even though you can't control the way that somebody responds to you, but that doesn't mean you are absolved from the consequences from your actions. You see what I'm saying? So if somebody touches you and then you decide, title has me weak. Hey, listen, bro. You like that title, huh? We gonna get that up. But just because somebody told you, now what was I? Okay, so here's what I was saying. So just because I'm of the ilk of you can't tell somebody how to respond to you, that doesn't mean that they won't have consequences for their actions on how they responded to you. So if I tap you on your shoulder, but you decide to stab me because I tapped you on your shoulder, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's self-defense, no, because I wasn't a threat to you. And you responded with a knife. So yeah, I can't say anything on how, I can't tell you how to respond, but that doesn't mean that you're absolved from consequences. So
it's the time. You know, I don't think he should have got 35 years. I don't think he should have got this time. I don't think he should have got that time. Unfortunately, it's not up to you. And I really say that with a heavy heart. It's not. When you do the crime, you do the time. It's not up to you. It is in that judge's hands. Whatever that judge feels is what he feels. You should not have murdered somebody. And that is a period. That's not a comma. That's not a semicolon. It is what it is. Just like in life, if somebody does something mean to you and you react, they cannot control your reaction to their disrespect. They cannot control your reaction. If you go and you have sex with somebody unprotected and, oh, well, it was one time and you end up getting HIV or AIDS, you can't control that. All you can control are your actions. At the end of the day, life isn't fair. Nothing is fair. You do the action, you do the crime, you do the time. And that is the end of the sentence. Now, as it comes to these other cases, because I'm seeing people bringing up the gas station case, the people bringing up other people who have done similar things and not gone convicted, I understand that. Now, that is a frustration. That is a case of its own. That has no bearings on this case. Just because that Asian man did not get convicted of shooting that teen in the back, right? That has nothing to do with this boy who lost his life at a track meet because somebody decided to stab him. Those are two completely different cases. Those are two completely different situations. One has no bearing on another. If you're talking about the justice system in America as a whole, absolutely. We know it's corrupt. We know this. It's been like this for years. We understand. We know that. No one is negating that. But to try to bring all these other situations into this one and saying, well, free him. No, he murdered somebody. Like, just because somebody does something bad and gets off doesn't mean that everybody who does something bad deserves to get off.
Let me also say this too, because I know we always mention this as if this is something new. Government has always been corrupt. Let's be 110% clear on this. This ain't nothing new. This ain't no newfound information. This isn't something that just started happening, man. This shit has been happening since the beginning of time. Government has always been corrupt. Always. There's nothing new under the sun. To be honest with you, everything that's happening in this world is really nothing new under the sun. For real. A lot of the things is repeated. A lot of the things that's happening in this world is just repeat. It's happening over and over again. It's not the first time this has happened. It's just happening in different stages or just happening in different ways. It's the same thing, just in a different form. Nothing new under the sun. Real talk.
Get off. Just because somebody did something and they didn't have actions for their or consequences for their actions doesn't mean that you get to do something bad and hope that you don't get consequences for your actions too. An eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. If that was the case, everybody would be running around murdering people, stealing, doing all kinds of crazy ass shit. That's not how this works. And I hate to have to be the one to say it. Like I at the end of the day, it's a sad situation. And I do believe that Carmelo was remorseful, but I genuinely don't think that he was taught the fundamentals. And that was, what the fuck is self-defense? What can I do to defend myself if in those situations? I'm not going to speak on his character. I'm not going to say that, he wanted to start a fight. I'm not going to say that because I wasn't there. I'm not him. I wasn't in that situation. I'm not Austin. I don't know. But what I do know is he murdered somebody. Every action has a reaction.
And listen, she cooking. She cooking. Shout out to her. Because you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest about it, because you know how everybody, they always want to turn it into a race. They always got to make it a race thing. Anytime it's white versus white, black, a white person off a black person, or a black person off a white person, it's always a race thing. It's never about the actual action that happened. It's not about the crime in itself that actually happened. It's not about the details, because they always got to find a way. They always have to find a reason to try to make it black or white. Oh, see, man, I knew the white man. See, this some boy, and vice versa. There's some white people too. See, this is what happened when you get the niggers around you. This is what happens. The degenerate behavior. They always got to turn it into a race, bro. And why aren't we just talking about the crime in itself? Talking about jurors, talking about the judge, talking about the legal system, talking about how corrupt it is. It's always corrupt when things don't go the way that you want it to go. But then thank God for the justice system when it does go your way, right? Pick one. Pick a struggle, bro. You win some, you lose some. And again, it is unfortunate that happened to Austin Metcalf, and it is very unfortunate that that Carmelo Anthony has to go to jail. All of it is very, very unfortunate. But again, your actions have consequences, big dog. No matter how you spin it, no matter how you look at it, you can look at it as a black and white thing. You can look at it as just for the crime in itself. Guess what happens? Consequences of your actions. So to be 110% honest with you, why aren't we having the conversation about the parents? Why aren't we having a conversation about parents teaching their children on how to respond to bullying or how to conduct themselves in public? Why aren't we having these conversations? Letting them know, listen, you're a teenager. There's no reason that you should be having a knife. There's no reason you should have a knife on you. You're going to attract me. There's no reason you should have one on you, regardless of what state you in. Because I know a lot of people, they try to use that. Well, you got the white boys. They be having their guns on the back of their trucks, and they're hunting guns. It's a difference from carrying a 45 in your backpack or carrying a knife in your backpack or in your hip, on your hip or something. You had to track me. There's no need for that. If the track meet, for what a lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of different people from different angles, and they've been saying when you go to track meet, everything is all commingled. Everybody's trying to holler at hoop de whoop de whoop, hollering at people, boom boom boom, talking, conversing with each other. Okay, if that's the case, then you should not have a reason to have a knife on you, then, big dog. There should be nothing that makes you want to say, you know what, I'm gonna have a knife in my backpack, and then whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm gonna provoke somebody to come fuck with me, and so I can stab them. What that makes sense? Help me to understand it. That don't make sense to me. Maybe I'm slow. But let's go over here to Austin Metcalf's father and see what he got to say about this whole situation.
Oh, there was no black jurors.
What's up, Mr.
You know why? Because you can't be unbiased, you dumb shit. If you answer the question, I can't send a black man to jail because he's black, you're not getting on the jury. You're so unintelligent, you can't even fill out a form correctly. You don't even know who your daddy is, because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore. You got baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you all.
Shit.
You think I'm being racist? No, I'm being real. Because they ain't only black people. White people do the same shit. I'll call them out just as hard as I'll call you out. Anybody who doesn't work, who wants free government handouts, who wants to live in a socialistic society, move to Russia. And normally, I don't normally attack people like this, but I have been cooped up and caged up in this anger. And this is something I'm trying to work on. I need to develop it and funnel it into a more constructive way. But tonight,
bro, y'all so ignorant, bro.
is the one time I'm going to allow myself. It's okay.
My guy.
Tonight, I'm going to allow myself to say what I really want to say. Because most of the time, I don't say what I want to say because it's not correct. Just because you think something doesn't mean you believe it. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. Doesn't make it a fact.
Okay, I'm gonna play this video again because maybe I'm tripping here. maybe there's something I missed because I've been seeing a lot of videos. I've been seeing people react to this video and they're saying, well, see what I'm saying? I see why his daddy acts the way. I see why Austin Metcalf was unalive. I see the racist behavior because they don't care about black people. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this again. I'm gonna play this again. Make sure I'm not tripping. Let me make sure I'm not off.
Oh, there was no black jurors. You know why? Because you can't be unbiased, you dumb shit. If you answer the question, I can't send a black man to jail because he's black, you're not getting on the jury. You're so unintelligent, you can't even fill out a form correctly. You don't even know who your daddy is because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore. You got baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you all. You think I'm being racist? No, I'm being real. Because they ain't only black people. White people do the same. I'll call them out just as hard as I'll call you out.
Okay. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Am I tripping right now? Because what I just heard is said he was basically saying, listen, I'm being racist. I'm just telling you what it is. You got baby mamas over here. You don't even know, you don't even understand how they even pick a jury in the first place. And we went through that. We actually went through that when we watched the Anton Daniels and Sean Kent interview. So he explained how they pick jurors. So you can't be biased when you're a juror. So even if I'm pretty sure when they were picking out the jurors, when the lawyers were picking out the jurors, guess what? They have to deep dive when they're picking these individuals out. They have to do a deep dive. But nobody, they talking about there's no black jurors, but yet you mean to tell me that the entire jury was white? The entire jury was white. As if black and white is the only race out here. As if we don't have Mexicans, as if we don't have Arabians, as if we don't have Dominicans, as if we don't have Indians, as if we don't have what other races are there? A lot of them. As if we don't have any other races in the world, as if we don't have Asians, as if we don't have Koreans, as if we don't have Japanese, as if we don't have any other races in the world. They think it's just black and white. And then they do a deep dive on these individuals, making sure that they do not have a bias either way, good or bad. And that's how they pick the jury. And it just so happened that none of them were black. So what? And again, one age, can y'all think? Can y'all actually use y'all brain for once? You talking about, do you know these people? Have you deep dive and understood these people? You talking who wish they were white? Who wish they were white? Who wish they were white? How do you know they wish they were white, big dog? Do you know these people individually? Have you spoken with these people? Have you even had a conversation with these individuals that you're speaking of? Have you? Do you know these people personally? Do you know their background? Do you know their lifestyle? Do you know how they live on a day-to-day basis? To say that they want to be white? Or do they just want to be a contributing member to society? Y'all act like white. Y'all really out. Y'all really be oppressing yourselves, bro. Y'all really be oppressing yourselves. Real talk. Your mindset is oppressing you, bro. Because y'all still think white is supreme. Y'all still think a white man is supreme. And this very white man right here just told you in this video that there are white people who are doing the same shit that the black people that he was just talking about. They're doing the same exact shit. So what are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? Y'all just want to be a victim. Like, you feel me? You feel me? You feel me, bro? He sit back. He up here he mourning his son's death. Everybody talking. I'm talking about talking crazy money, talking wild, celebrating the fact that his son lost his life. Oh, but now all of a sudden he wanted to clap back. Now it's here's the angry white man. Here's the angry white man. But y'all was talking big talk. Y'all was talking big money. How come y'all ain't holding Carmelo Anthony's family accountable? How come y'all ain't doing that? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? What are reaction videos to that? What are reaction videos to that? How they failed his son? How they failed their son? Tell me that. How come y'all ain't having that conversation? How they failed their son, Carmelo Anthony? Tell me that. Where are the reaction videos? Yep, I did do a live. Yep, I did do a live stream for that too. You should have been there. I did a live stream for that too. I sure did.
Anybody who doesn't work, who wants free government handouts, who wants to live in a socialistic society, move to Russia. And normally, I don't normally attack people like this, but I have been cooped up and caged up in this anger. And this is something I'm trying to work on. I need to develop it and funnel it into a more constructive way. But tonight is the one time I'm going to allow myself, it's okay. Tonight, I'm going to allow myself to say what I really want to say. Because most of the time I don't say what I want to say because it's not correct. Just because you think something doesn't mean you believe it. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. Doesn't make it a fact.
I don't see nothing wrong with what he said right here, bro. All I see is a father that's mourning his son's death, and he's been sitting back. He's been sitting back in the cut, listening to everybody talk and say all the egregious shit about him and his family and his sons and all these different things, saying that he deserved it. All of these different things. And all I see is a father that's mourning his son's death, and now he gonna speak up. Now he clapping back on y'all. That's all I see. I don't see the black and white. I don't see, because guess what? If it was a black on black situation, there was a father who came back and said the same exact thing that this man said, but he just happened to be black. Guess what? I'm gonna stand with him too. This could have been a black on black situation, and guess what? I guarantee you, it would not have seen the light of day. It would not see the light of day. A lot of y'all would not be in here talking about it. Myself included. If you want me to be 110%, because guess what? It won't be viral. It won't be a viral video. It won't be across multiple platforms. So we probably wouldn't even know unless we do a deep dive to actually research it. But we buck dancing though, like your boy Octavia said. Buck dancing, right? Instead of just looking at it from a human perspective. That's a father. Are you a father, Octavius? Are you a father? Do you think your father would be upset if somebody unalived you? Do you think your father will mourn you? Do you think your father would be upset? Hurt? Disappointed? That his son was unalived for no reason? Or for something stupid? I'm pretty sure he would be. Yeah, child went viral too. And guess what happened? He got off because he did exactly what he thought he was supposed to do at that time. He unallowed the kid because he thought that he thought that Cyrus was about to shoot his son. So guess what he did? He defended his child. He defended his child. He was in fear for his son's life. So guess what he did? He reacted. Was it an overreaction? Absolutely. We can argue that. But again, none of us was in that situation. And we can't say what we would have done or I would have did this. No, you wouldn't. You don't know what you would have did in that situation. Everything is a split moment decision that you got to make. Quick on your feet. Your son take off after this guy who's supposedly stealing something out of y'all store, y'all business. This ain't no other entities. This is y'all business. This is something that you worked your ass off to get in something to build. You had to save up your money to buy this building and get all these products. This is your store. This is your legacy. You got people stealing stuff in your house, in your own home. Then they run out and your son decided to chase them. So now you chasing after your son. And then come to find out, once you get close enough, it seems as if he's trying to pull out a gun and shoot him. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to shoot because you're trying to defend your son. You wanted to defend your child. Where's this race thing coming from? Why are y'all bringing up race? Nothing that I just said, nothing that I just explained had anything to do with race. I'm talking about the situation. And y'all talking about race. Come on, big dog. He didn't. Okay, so let me run this back for you. He went into the store. His intentions was to steal. He grabbed the water bottles, put them in his pockets. Maybe he saw the lady watching him behind. Maybe he saw the lady watching him. Maybe he saw the lady watching him. Or he had a conscience. Maybe his parents were speaking to him in his mind or something. Maybe he heard that little voice on his head or that little voice on his shoulder like, hey, big dog, put that water bottle back. Put the water bottles back. I bet. Let me put these holes back. Boom. Right? So you got to walk past the front register in order to get out the door, right? So, hey, man, what's that in your pocket? Because guess what? He had it in his hoodie look a little bit heavy. So if they tell you to pull out your pockets, what's in your pockets? You gonna pull out a gun? Or you gonna continue to keep on moving? Or you gonna say, man, I gotta get the fuck up out of here because if I pull out a gun, they're gonna think I'm trying to rob the place. So it's it's already a bad looking situation in itself. So you run. That's the only thing you can think to do. You run. But Adam Child, he could have stayed there and said, you know what, I'm chilling. But he decided to run off and chase him. What you gonna do? Talking about some naive. What are you talking about? You don't know. What are you talking about? You don't know. Did you not see the video? Did you not see the video? Or am I tripping? Or am I bugging? That's what exactly. They're doing the same. They're doing the same thing as Mr. Child. See how you give cover when the black kid. What are you talking about? How I give cover? What are you talking about? Okay, now let's go to Stephen A. Smith. Let's go to Stephen A. Smith.
Carmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf. There is no other way to slice it. How else do you explain, or can you explain?
Because I'll tell you this, if you're trying to say that it's the same situation with Mr. Child and those two are the same situation, Carmelo Anthony and Mr. Child. If you're trying to say those are synonymous, you're bugging. You already lost it. If that was a debate. If you're trying to equate the two, you've already lost it because it's not the same. It is not the same at all. If that's what you're trying to say, those are two different situations. And I just said it. Listen, I understand that you cannot control somebody's actions and how they respond to you. But that does not mean you are absolved from consequences. And that's the situation that happened with Carmelo Anthony. He responded that he thought was the right way to respond, but no, that wasn't the right way to respond because you ain't in fear of your life. You provoking. Touch me and see what I do. That ain't the same situation as you going into somebody's store attempting to steal. And they ask you, hey, what's in your pockets? And you run. That ain't the same situation, bro. It's two different situations. Why aren't y'all seeing that? Oh, but I get it. y'all so anti every other race. Y'all so I'm so pro-black, you know what I'm saying? Piece of Pan-Africanism to the point that y'all can't even understand the entire scope of the situation. Just because it's a Asian man, or what is Mr. Child? Asian, Chinese, whatever he is. So if I messed it up, my apology. That's my own ignorance, right? But Mr. Child and this young black kid, and then you look at Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. You're not looking at the crime in itself. You're not looking at the totality of. You just see a black man and a person of a different race. They killed this black man, or this other black kid. He's going to jail because he defended himself. Get out of here, man.
You at a track meet, appearing in a visitor's tent.
Exactly, Teresa.
Austin Metcalf and his brother.
I guess we ain't black either, huh? I guess we ain't black. I guess we just gray. We the gray area black people. We the gray area. We just gonna call ourselves the gray area because we don't look at everything just from a race perspective. We look at the totality of the situation and what happened. What actually makes sense? Was this crime justified or not? Regardless of who it was. Because if it was justified, we would agree with Carmelo Anthony. If it was justified, we would agree that. We would agree with the whole situation with Cyrus. But guess what we all agree? Guess what we all agree on, though? All of this situation was unfortunate. All of it was unfortunate. All of it was unfortunate. We did not want to see another black kid go to jail. We did not want to see another black kid get unalived. But unfortunately, because of the circumstances in which it happened, consequences happened because of the actions. So we cover the actions. We cover the crime. We don't cover the race. That's the difference between us gray area black people and y'all pro-black Pan-Africanism as black people. That's the difference between the two. I'm going to celebrate you when you're doing the things the right way. And I'm going to hold you accountable when you're doing things the wrong way. Simple as that. That's all it is. I can't love you. I can't love you if I got to sit here and pander to everything that you do, even if it's wrong. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's ignorant. That's stupid. You can never move forward like that. If I can't love you, if you're telling me I need to love you, I need to embrace you. I need to also be able to hold you accountable when you're doing wrong and when you're messing up.
According to reports, come over to you asking you to leave because
who was a bully, Moni? Who was a bully? Because what I heard and what I've seen from the research, he didn't even know who Austin Metcalf was previously to go into that team. So who was being a bully? So was that being a bully, or was they just trying to pin him as a bully so that way that whole defending myself can pass? Because as we dive deeper into the story, he didn't know who he didn't know. They didn't know each other beforehand. So how was he a bully? Because he told him to move away from the tent? Don't necessarily call that being a bully. But for the people who play sports, we can understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was like, he got to stop. What are we talking about?
You're sitting under their tent. An argument ensues. Folks have said it spanned more than 5-6 minutes. Others said it went as long as 15. A two-hand shove is believed to have happened by one witness. Another witness said it was a one-hand shove. How does that justify Carmelo Anthony pulling out a knife and stabbing Austin Metcalf to death? How? How? Some would argue, what the hell were you doing at the track meet with a knife to begin with? Others would argue, it wasn't like you were in fear for your life. There were witnesses around. There were people around. At worst, they might have expected fisticuffs, if that. A matter of fact, one witness was quoted as hearing Austin Metcalf said, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. But Carmelo Anthony saying, touch me, put your hands on me, and watch what happens.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
A witness, not a witness to the actual stabbing, but somebody who was in attendance in the immediate aftermath of the stabbing, reportedly, according to testimony, sworn testimony, on the stand said they went to Carmelo Anthony, who had jogged away from the area of the incident. They walked up to him and they said, what happened? He said he put his hands on me, as in Austin Metcalf. He put his hands on me, so I stabbed him. That's not justification for killing someone.
So what are we arguing here? Teenage, yeah, exactly. Also, wait. Teenage boys talking ish, and it went left. Now I didn't even hear the part about Austin Metcalf even saying, "I don't even want to fight you." So that debunks the fact of everybody calling him a bully. Because initially, I even went with the rhetoric. I was like, "Oh shit, he is a bully." I'm like, "He a bully." I said, "Well, shit, if he being a bully, then I mean, I can better understand the situation as to why he would want to." Because I'm thinking he just some kid that this is prolonged. They've been bullying him in the past. This is something that people just been going off like him and his brother always messing with him type thing. And he just gets fed up with it. But as we dive deeper into the conversation, we dive deeper into the research and we get more information and insight. It's like, dog, hold on. Let me take a couple steps back. So you mean to tell me he wasn't a bully? They didn't know each other previously. And all they were telling him to do is get away from the tent. And he was provoking them, saying, hey, man, touch me and see what happened. He ain't as innocent as he seemed. And truly, Austin Metcalf will be the victim in that point. Said, hey, bro, I ain't trying to fight you, bro, but you got to get away from this tent, though, big dog. Well, touch me and see what happened. Oh, so you just trying to, so you looking for trouble. That's what you doing. That's what it sounded like that Carmelo was doing. It looked like you was looking for trouble. And this is why I say we need to have a bigger conversation. What the parents doing, bro? What the parents doing? What the parents doing? At some point, we got to have a conversation about the parents. We got to do a little deep dive on the parents too. We got to see what's going on with them. How was this kid raised? Yeah, cool. He may have been a smart kid. That's a phenomenal thing. Great. But are we teaching him about social skills? Are we teaching him about the difference between being actually understanding what defending yourself actually looks like and how that goes? Meaning just because somebody touch you don't mean you are justified to pull out a knife and stab them or pull out a gun and shoot them. None of that is justifiable, bro. You ain't in fear for your life at all. And just because you claim it was self-defense, that don't necessarily make it self-defense. It still has to be proven that it was self-defense. And if it's not proven, you going to jail, big dog. Now you gotta sit down for damn near 35 years, bro. When all you had to do was just get up and walk away because you didn't want to look like a punk in front of everybody. That's what it sounded like to me. Sound like a young dude who didn't want to look like a punk in front of people, because I'm pretty sure at a track meet there's a lot of people around. You didn't want to look like a punk. You want to look like you was tough. You want to look like you was hard, instead of just getting up like, oh, my bad, and just walking away. Or just having a little friendly banter and barter with each other. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna dust y'all ass on the track. Wait till we gonna I'm dusting y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas trash anyway. Instead of doing that, having some regular back and forth competition talking trash, Draymond Green type shit, you want to go and unallow somebody at a track meet. Yeah, good behavior out in 17 years. The only good thing in this situation, the only good thing in this situation that I have to look at on the upside of things is, yeah, like Tree said, he got 17 on good behavior. He got 17 on good behavior. And the fact that he's still young, he'll come out at the age of 34 and he can still make some of himself at the age of 34 or 35. He can still make something of himself. Look at Ali Sadiq. He made something of himself. So that's the only upside. That's the only upside to this. Or you can be inside the jail right now. You can get around now. Of course, I don't know how the jail system works, so I don't know. But I'm just talking from I'm talking from an ignorant standpoint because I've never been in jail, so I don't know how that works. Find you somebody who knows investments. Find you somebody who knows how to do business, get into stocks, so that way you can get out understanding how the stock market works. You can make some investments and you can get on top. And you can get back up on top, and then you can make something of your life, man. And you can turn your whole shit around. That's the only upside to that I see. There is some upside that you're still young. That you going in young and good behavior, you out at the age of 35. That's all I got. But that's crazy, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So I'm gonna talk about this real quick. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. I just wanna address it real quick. The Knicks won. They beat the Spurs. I had a feeling the Knicks were gonna win. I had a feeling the Knicks were gonna win, man. It was that time. They did a great job. They pulled it out. I honestly thought they were gonna take this L in San Antonio. I thought they was gonna win it back at home, but I guess they were like, nah, big dog, we gotta go ahead and call game on this. We're not gonna do that. We gotta call game on this. So I'm just gonna play a little after game interview with Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson. And then I'm gonna play the after interview with Wembanyama, and then we'll just kind of give our thoughts and opinions on this. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh shit.
I say Shaq was the greatest free agent signing. He was.
Yeah, but he was the number one pick in the draft.
But still,
and you expected him to be.
Still, he left. He was the greatest.
No, but
I'm going to stop the argument too.
Yeah.
And I love my son. Patrick Ewing, the best Nick that I've ever witnessed. So.
Oh, I didn't say that.
The best Nick you ever witnessed, man. Listen, bro, you must forgot about Carmelo Anthony. What you mean the best Nick? I'm sorry, bro. Patrick Ewing was, he was doing his thing, but nah, I got Melo, bro. I got Melo as the greatest Nick outside of for the simple fact that he led his team. I'm gonna put Jalen Brunson ahead of Carmelo. Y'all can come at me, but I'm gonna put Jalen Brunson before him. He led his team to a championship. Now, of course, great chemistry. You had to have great chemistry. Everybody played their part like they were supposed to. That's how you win championships. The team, not just one person, but he was in the front. He was leading from the front, and he did what he was supposed to do as a small guard. And there was what was that lady's name? She's a basketball coach saying that they won't do it because he's too small. Well, he just proved her wrong. Small guard led his team to a championship finals. Can't take that away from him. So as of right now, I would say, I would say as of right now, Jalen Brunson holds that torch as the best Nick. As the best Nick. He brought him a championship. You can't say nothing. He brought you a championship. And he led from the front. So I can't. Yep, small and quick.
No, I just want people to like, you know. I just want.
I'm going to say it's going to be debatable.
Could be debatable.
No. It's going to be debatable now because the other thing, you know, what he has done is he has ignited a culture that was not lit.
I'm gonna answer that, Kyle.
The fuse was there. It was. I called it the lamp that was plugged in with no power, and it was not. It was no power in New York, and he brought the power to New York.
Jalen, let me ask you this. I say,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's cool. But I mean, I wouldn't call it. Somebody said it was an L for his father for saying that. I'm like, not really. That's what his dad feels. I'm pretty sure this ain't his first time telling him something like that. But you know how people always got to make something out of. You know how people always got to make something out of nothing, man. Always got to make something. So let's watch this. The interview from Wembanyama.
I think
it ain't gonna be that long.
Victor, I know it's the end of a tough series. I'm just wondering if you can put into words what it was like to watch that team celebrate a championship on your home floor, and does that give you and the team maybe motivation, fuel going in to whatever's next?
I think that's compared to anything before. This is the biggest lesson of my life, the biggest learning moment. I can't tell exactly what the lesson is, but we're learning from that for sure. I'm learning more than any other time in my life.
Here's the thing, though. He's still young, bro. He's still young. That's the crazy part. He's still young. You can tell he still has a lot to work on. Even if you're 7'5", that don't necessarily mean that's gonna guarantee you a championship, right? There's still things that you need to do as a leader, and of course they're gonna make him the leader of the team anyway. He's gonna be the face of the Spurs right now, but he needs to get with Tim Duncan. Lean in heavy on Tim Duncan. Lean in heavy on Hakeem Olajuwon. And he has to get better on defense because he's just using his length for his defense, and sometimes that gets him fucked up. And sometimes it saves him too. But a lot of times he leans on his length in itself and not the actual defense. And so that can hurt him, especially when he gets tired. When he gets tired, he gets lazy. He becomes a liability on defense. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you 7'5". I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, it's cool. It's dope to see. It's dope for highlight when you got this 7'5" dude dribbling the ball like a guard and then pulling up. That's cool and all. But get your big behind under the basket, man. Let me throw you this bounce pass. Matter of fact, not even the bounce pass, because I don't want you to have to reach down for it. Throw the hand up to the hand. Throw it up there to the hand, boom, and you go to work. Put them in the blender. Every time, bro. 97% of your points should come from inside the paint. From you posting up. 97% of your points should be coming from, should be coming from you posting up and putting the man in the hole and putbacks. That's it. You don't need to be out there. You don't need to be on the perimeter at all, bro. And I get it. The game is changing. They're spreading the floor out. But this is the time where you can dominate the most. Like, I bet everybody want to play spread ball. Guess what? Inside, I'm putting this man in the hole because they know who going to guard you. All they're going to do is foul you. That's all they can do. Put the man in the hole. And you're going to have to get a little bit more physical. You're going to have to put on a little bit more weight. You're going to have to get with Giannis and say, hey, big dog, how you put on all that weight? What was your workout regimen? I need to follow your workout regimen because when Giannis came into the league, he was about as skinny as Wembanyama. And next thing you know, came out of nowhere, this dude swole as up. I was like, God dang, where you got this muscle from? Where you packed on all this muscle, big dog? So, but again, he got a lot of years. If he can stay healthy, man, it's gonna be wild. And this was a great time for them to take advantage and win the Knicks, because I'm telling you, once he figure it out, it's gonna be hard to beat them. I ain't gonna hold you. He put on some muscle. It's gonna be hard. Hold on, what I say? About Raw, what I say? What I say that was a pause, bro. They're gonna be something. He gonna be something serious. And then Fox, yeah, he sold though. Fox was on some more shit. I don't know what Fox was on. This was his time. This was his time to shine, and boy, did he not do it. He did not do it at all. He stunk up the entire floor. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Word. This man said a whole sports segment is possible. You wild, bro. Dude was pure trash. Yeah, he was, bro. I don't know what he was on, dog. I don't. I want to answer this question. I'm gonna go back to this question and answer this real quick. Octavius, what's your excuse for child getting off when there were black people on the jury? Let me tell you what he was gonna. Let me tell you what he'll say. Because he already said it once. Because he said they want to be white. That's what he gonna say. He gonna be like, man, they just tap dancing for the white people. They want to be white with them. That's what he'll say. He'll say something along those lines. It ain't gonna be nah. They just understood the situation, and they thought it was fair. He ain't gonna say that. He has to place. There has to be something wrong with him. He's gonna say, hey man, listen, they want to be white. That's why they was going with Mr. Child, because they know that was wrong. Man, get out of here, bro. So what we want to go to next? What we gonna do next? Do we want to talk about this? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this. Let's talk about this Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. So beforehand, it went viral, because Meg Thee Stallion saying that Klay Thompson cheated on her, even though we don't have no evidence on who that was, but all the girls, all the Meg Thee Stallion lovers and the Stallionettes, they're like, oh, see, I told you he ain't no good. But it's like, okay, well, where's the evidence though? We don't know who he was cheating with. Ain't nobody came up and said that was the person that he was cheating with, whatever the case. Now, Klay Thompson spoke up, but he said, listen, man, y'all, she talking what she talking about. But this shit was ghetto. And she was loud. So I'm gonna play this video first, and then we're gonna dive into what he actually said in regards to the Meg Thee Stallion situation. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, I know my toxic people. They're like, man, I don't see nothing wrong with it. And I agree. I don't see too much wrong with it. I don't. But then again, it depends on the type of guy that you are, though. If you one of the type of people like, all right, that really don't bother me. She just having a good time. She enjoying herself. Got some drinks in her. She just enjoying and having a good time with this music. But then on the other side, there's some other guys like, man, you're doing too much, man. Just bob your head. Just chill. You don't have to be all out and extra. The whole building don't need to hear you. Everybody don't need to hear you. Everybody don't need to hear your voice. Just chill. Just sit here, look pretty, enjoy your time, have a good time. You don't need to be, you don't need to do all of that, man. Just chill. Take your time, bro. Relax. So I understand it, because I know Raw. I know Raw like, man, I don't see nothing wrong with it for real. I don't see nothing wrong with it. See, Klay should have went Should send her to Bridges and send them bit to Europe to learn the Queen's in English and some classical mannerisms. Yeah, my homie Savages, they was cracking my shit. Can't feel my. Ooh, hold up. Say what? Man, what? What was that? Hey, come on now, dog. But let's go into this. I want to go into this now. Yeah, that was a hard pause. So let me bring it in so y'all can see. So Klay Thompson allegedly called Megan Thee Stallion ghetto and felt abandoned during the relationship, sources claim. According to a daily report, unnamed sources, the Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson relationship was struggling long before it ended. One insider alleged he privately complained about Megan's personality, claiming she was just so ghetto. I was over that ghetto. I was over the ghetto-ness. The way she speaks, the way she acts. The source described the pair as very different people, noting that Thompson is known for being more reserved and introverted. Yes, he is, because we don't see. The only time we typically see, this is as much as we've seen Klay Thompson in the media than before, is because he was with Meg Thee Stallion. We typically don't see him online. You know, he ain't getting into no crazy scandals. You barely see him on the media, and a lot of times you see him on the tube is when he's hooping. So you could tell, very reserved individual, right? Keeping shit at bay. Despite this, the insider claimed Thompson developed genuine feelings for her, envisioned a future together. The source says Klay even purchased a larger multi-dollar home where the couple planned to live. However, the insider alleged that he often felt neglected due to Megan's demanding schedule, claiming he kind of felt abandoned by her. He went to all these places to support her, and then when he was off over summer, she was nowhere to be found. He felt like she never made an effort. The source said Thompson definitely liked her at first, but after a while, that faded. Which is it's fair. That doesn't, as of right now, I don't see anything. I don't see a situation. I don't see a problem right now. It happens. At first, listen, you're like, hey man, shorty bad, you know what I'm saying? Shorty cool, you know, like, hey, damn, this is something refreshing, this is something new. You know, she speak her mind, she kind of lie, she kind of different. I'm rocking with that. But over time, he's like, man, shit get annoying, bro. Like sometimes, like, man, shut up. Where you at? Talk too much. And then you ain't around enough either. And you just come around, you loud, ghetto. I ain't with it. It was cool at first. It was something refreshing. It was something new, but I don't think I could sustain this over a long period of time. Also, the source claims he grew frustrated with constantly being around security and entourages and allegedly complained about conversations related to Megan's ongoing legal and public battles involving Tory Lanez. Oh, Lord. The insider claimed Thompson once said she would not shut the F up about Tory Lanez. What?
What? Yeah. Man, hell no.
And allegedly added, she always felt like people were out to get her. She needs security everywhere, even in remote places. So why would you need to feel that way? If you were telling the truth. I'm just curious. A second source strongly disputed several of those claims. According to that insider, discussions about Lanez rarely happen and only surface when Megan encountered false narratives circulating about her on the internet. The source added, if anything, she vented and leaned on her partner for support, as anyone would in a relationship. They also challenged criticism of Megan's work schedule, stating it's hypocritical for Klay to complain about her work ethic when they're both public figures who travel frequently for their careers and each strive for their excellence in their professions. The source added, he always knew she was never a stay-at-home partner. See the Jasmine brand. So NBA's Klay Thompson allegedly called Megan Thee Stallion ghetto. Yep. According to a daily report. Okay, so we read through that already. I mean, to be honest, yeah, you going into the relationship, you already know what it's about. You know that she's gonna be you know that she's busy, you know that she's a public figure, you know what she does for a living. So you already knew that coming in. So to say that she wasn't around enough, that's kind of wild to me. That's kind of wild to say. It's like, fam, you already know what she do. You know that she's an entertainer, so you know y'all schedule's probably gonna bump. Y'all probably are not gonna be doing the same thing. Y'all probably not gonna be in the same city at the same time a lot of times. So during your summer times, you gonna just have to thug it out, stay busy or something. So I don't see the issue, but the only thing I can agree with that she is loud and ghetto though. But I don't see the other situation though. That's kind of wild. She wasn't around enough for support. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Yeah, you're right. She know what she did. That's why she got that security around. She know she was lying, talking about some goddamn man. She know she was lying, bro. She know what it was. But hey, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Ooh. Now we about to get into it. I think I'll save that one for later. But I want to get into this Lou. I want to get into this Lou Will topic, man. And this topic is about. Hold on, let me see. So basically, what he's saying is, it don't matter how much money you make. If you spend too much of it, you're gonna go broke. So I want to get the context in that and seeing what he's saying in regards to people who make a lot of money, then they still end up going broke. So I want to dive into it, and then we'll give our thoughts and opinions. All right. So let me read these comments real quick. What's the word? What's the word? So let's go ahead and get into it, man.
There's probably 1%. What's the average life in the NBA players? What's the average? 4 years. 4 years. 4 years. 4 years is the average lifespan of an NBA career. And it take us 5 years after that to go broke. Easy numbers game. I do it like this. You make $5 million, 2.5 of that gone. You got agent fees, probably another 50 of that gone. You got your dues. A lot of people don't know we got dues for the NBPA. So yeah, you got dues. So everybody put their money in the pot. So you figure you got 450 NBA players. I think the dues is 15 to 20 grand a year. Everybody put it in the pot. That's how we able to get our health care and all of that type of shit.
I didn't know that.
Then you got your personal staff. Financial advisor, there's probably 1%. Agent at a high number is gonna get 4%.
Right.
But you can negotiate from 1 to 4.
Okay.
So before you look up, you probably at 1.5 million off of 5. God. With nothing. And these Benzes that we keep talking about in these mansions and shit, these girlfriends and these Chanel bags, before you know it, you not a millionaire no more.
Right.
So hold up. I see an issue.
Right. You a high thousandaire on paper. You can tell a motherfucker, fuck you, I'm a millionaire.
Right.
In real life, a lot of that pie gone. So again, and we 17, 18-year-old kids, these are our first experiences. It's gonna take us, I don't care what you go to school for, it's gonna take you 5-6 years of that experience to even realize what's happening to you. I was, hey, listen, man, I had a week. I bought a Ferrari and a Lamborghini in the same week, and I rationalized it with my financial advisor, and he was like, I can't legally tell you what to do with your money, but I don't think that's a good decision.
Right.
And I said, it's cool, I make a bunch of this shit. I did. But I was young.
What year was this? What year? You remember?
Man, I had to be 24. I had to be 24, 25 years old.
So it was like the 6th or 7th season?
2012. But no, like you want to enjoy some of this stuff too,
yeah,
bro. Like you want to enjoy it. And so that's how athletes go broke. A lot of people think it's like you just got a reckless spending habit.
Bro, okay. That's a fact though. So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with this, right? And the reason I'm on the fence is because if you've never had it, you want to experience it, right? You want to see what it's like to live that lavish lifestyle. You want to be able to feel what it's like to be a millionaire. You know, you want to move around different. You're going to move different. You want to buy the cars that you want to buy because you always had that wall. You always had that specific car on your wall poster. Like, damn, I want to buy that vehicle. And now when you see this lump sum of money come through, regardless if you had 5 million, because a lot of people ain't paying attention to that. Yeah, you losing a lot of money. It's like, damn, 5 mil, but after you break it down, after all the expenses I gotta pay, I'm only gonna come out with, I'm only netting 1.5 mil. It's like, shit, I'm still a millionaire, so I can still go buy this bust down. I can go buy this chain. I can go buy this whip that I've been looking at this whole time. I mean, and on top of that, it's time to go to the strip club. I want to throw some one because I'm big dog now. I want to get the VIP section. I want the bottles coming over here. You know, I want to trick off a little bit. So I want to enjoy this money. That's fair. It's fair because you've never experienced it before, right? You coming from nothing. But what I will say, listen, I understand. Now, here's the thing. I understand the food carry. I understand it, right? But I think we're so focused on when we know, right? There at some point, you know that this individual may make it to the pros. And so this is when you got to really start diving heavy and really understanding. This is where your circle really has to be tight-knit with you. Be honest with you and really have control and making sure that they managing your money properly. And this is when you got to continue to keep instilling in their head, hey, dog, most people, your average span is 4 years in the NBA. I know that 1.5 mil, it seems like it's going to last you a long time. Trust me, it's not. You'll be broke within 5 years. And if you're lucky enough to make it an extra 5 years, cool. But again, within that 5 years, you're going to be broke. If you do not know how to invest your money properly and use the money, spend your money wisely. I get it. You want the Benz. I get it. You want the Ferrari. I get it. You want the G-Wagon. I get it. I get it. You want the bust down. You want the AP. I get it. You want it. You want it. You want the Rollie. I understand it. But all that shit still going to be there. I need you to make sure that your future is straight. I need to make sure that your future is solid. So if something were to happen to you, you're going to be good, dog. And I think this needs to happen before they get to the NBA. I think this needs to happen because now you got these NIL deals. This needs to start being taught in high school. Learning to invest your money, learning how to put your money back. Listen, take out, if you're going to get 1.5 mil, I'll say this. Take 10% of that and just do whatever you want with it. Get it out your system because your pocket's going to be on fire. If you don't do nothing with that, you know you got 1.5 sitting right there. All you got to do is take your card and go swipe it or go tap it, whatever it is. You got that 1.5 million, so your pockets is on fire because you want to spend that money. You want to spend some of it. You want to go do something with it. You want to go have a good time. You know what I'm saying? That's something you got to do. So I recommend it. Hey, if you finna get a large lump sum of money, take 10% and just go have fun with it. Do whatever you want. Go spend it on the dumbest shit that you want to spend it on. But after that 10%, cut off. Everything else goes into investments. Everything goes into making sure that your money is working for you and you continue to keep building your wealth over time, bro. And whatever else you make after that, listen, take a small, and now this time don't take 10%. Take 5%. Take 5% of that money, go play with it. Go do whatever it is that you want to do with it. The rest, put it up. Investments. Money working for you. Constantly putting that money working, making that money work for you. Because you've already taken care of your expenses, right? You've already taken care of that. So now your money's going into your assets. That's going to continue to keep building your wealth and creating you wealth over time. So that way, you know, because you're planning for the future. You're not planning for today. You're planning for tomorrow. You're planning for 10, 15 years down the road. So when that time comes that you're gonna now, you know that you're finna leave the NBA, you're not struggling. You're not leaving. You're not gonna walk out of him like, damn, man, I'm broke, man. Like, I ain't got nothing going on for myself, bro. Now I gotta go here and create the podcast. Hopefully that start doing numbers I can make money. Now, I'm not saying that nothing's wrong. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad idea to get a podcast. I mean, there's a lot of money in it, right? There's a lot of money in podcasting. There's a lot of money in YouTube content creation. There's a lot of money in the shit. But you don't want that to be your main thing, especially you coming from the NBA, you making millions of dollars. And now you got to revert to being a YouTube content creator. That's crazy. That's crazy. They now have financial literacy as part of high school. That's good. And to be honest with you, I think it needs to start even earlier, middle school. I think it needs to start in middle school. And at home. And at home. I think once you get around the age of 9, 10, that's when you start teaching them literacy. Understanding how to invest your money, how your money is working for you. This is the perfect time. Around 9 to 10, this will be the perfect time to start reading to your kids Rich Dad, Poor Dad, to start them there. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's an easy read, easy to understand, easy to get through your child's head too, because you can sit there and read to them. And both of you can actually go through it again, because this would be good for you as well, to give you a freshen up if you haven't read the book in a while, right? So now you both can read it. Now you can get a refresh, and your kid can start to understand, and you can start practicing putting these things to use and teaching them, like, listen, this is how you invest your money, because I want to make sure once you start working and making money that you ain't just out here blowing your money. You want to make sure that you're set. So now you already understand, and you already know how to invest your money. Exactly. And the millionaire next door. Now you know how to invest your money. Now you understand that instead of you working for your money, your money's working for you now. So now by the time your kid turns 18, your kid already got a lot of money set aside. They're already doing better than most adults if you do it the right way. If you set them up the right way. You open up a brokerage account for them. You start putting money back for them. You've already started that for them. And now you can teach them, like, listen, let me show you something real quick. So because I've taken a certain amount out of my paycheck or whatever you make, I put this money over here so your money can work for you over time. So now I want you to take control of this. So I want you to give me, or I want you to understand that you're going to take this much and you're going to put over here into this account, because your money is going to be working for you. We just putting this money up. This is money that you ain't going to touch. This is money that you ain't going to touch. So whatever you make, you're going to take a certain percentage, you're going to put into here. This is called investing in yourself. This is a portion of investing in yourself. Investing in your future. Setting yourself up for success. That's what that looks like. I'm gonna have to read that one too. I'm gonna have to read that one again. The Millionaire Next Door. I'm gonna have to. My nephew just got done reading that book. Word. See, great read. It's a great read, man.
Yeah. It ain't that we got reckless spending habits. We just got crazy overhead, and once the checks stop, it gets completely different. It's nobody sitting there giving you real numbers because it's coming in so fast. Money coming in so fast. That's just a contract. Like, you might have a shoe deal, you might have some endorsements, so you feel like this shit is gonna be forever. It was a culture shock to me.
And mind you, the prime example of that is Jason Tatum's mom. Hey, we ain't touching no NBA money. We invest in all of that. You're gonna live your life. You're gonna live life off of your endorsements. Your lifestyle, you're gonna maintain your lifestyle off of your endorsements, not your NBA money. We're gonna put that back. We're gonna put that into some assets. Let that money grow over time. That's because he getting paid. How much is Jason Tatum getting paid right now? His earning base salary is $54.1 million. $54.1 million. He only 28 years old, bro. His total value. So he got $313 million guaranteed. His value, yeah, that's it. That's his total value. So it's guaranteed $313 million. And so his salary breakdown. So 2025 to 2026, he get 54.1. He get 54 mil. Then 26, 27, 58. 27, 28, he gets 62. Year 28, 29, he gets 67. Year 20, 29, 30, he gets 71 player option. Then that's how you get the player option. Yo, this man has the largest contract. It was the largest contract in history. And he ain't touching none of it. Putting that money into investments. Oh, he gonna be straight. You hear me? And only living life off, and he only living off of his endorsements. And there's no telling how many endorsements that he has. Let's see. Oh, bruh. This man got 27. This man got 21. This man got 27 endorsement deals. These endorsements span 21 different product categories, including electronics, telecommunications, luxury goods, sports, hydration drinks, footwear, health insurance, audio, hardware, beer, and video games. Yo. So he got Amica. That's a new deal that started in March 2025. AT&T, new deal started in March 2026. He got Apple, Coach, Jordan, Gatorade, Subway, Ruffles, and NBA 2K video games. And that ain't even in the 20s. That ain't even 27. That ain't even the full 27. Boy. And he only living off of the endorsements. And so you know he making bank from that alone. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 110% sure. Now I'm not counting pockets, but this is me wishful thinking because I don't know what he does with his money, right? But I'm hoping, even with the money that he's making from his endorsement deals, he still isn't spending all of that endorsement money. He's just investing it.
The first week I didn't get.
I can't wait till I start getting endorsement deals for YouTube. Well, not for YouTube, but these other companies that want to sponsor the channel. I can't wait. It's gonna be crazy. I'm really gonna give some game.
A big check from being retired, where it was like, oh,
I gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah, like life has begun. Like I feel like my life really started when I retired, bro, because I never spent that much time at home. I never spent weeks at a time in my own crib.
So is that another reason where they say a lot of when athletes retire, they get a divorce too? Because now they home so much.
Hell yeah. You don't really know the woman you married. I'm from Atlanta.
Right.
If I'm playing for the Clippers, she might move with me, but I'm on the road 3-4 nights a week. I only got to deal with her for 2 nights at a time.
Wow.
You dig what I'm saying? I got to deal with her 2 nights at a time during the week. You know how we keep her happy? Keep sending her to the mall. That's how you keep her quiet. That's why it's okay. It's okay. I understand. It's a sacrifice. I'll stay home with the kids.
Right.
That's why a lot of these cats, they get these shorties before they get into the NBA. They stick with the shorty that they was with before they got the money. They already rocking out with her. They already understand what it is. They know each other, so it's good. Life is good. Look at LeBron James and Savannah James. High school sweethearts, bro. They've been together. They know each other. So everything else that comes with it, we just growing together. We building together.
It's okay. You know why? Because she can shop in peace.
Right.
You ain't in her fucking ear. And you on the road doing whatever you doing. She ain't in your ear. Come home 2 days out that week, play family, and then you retire and you got to deal with this shit 24/7. Play house.
Tough, yeah,
you playing house. You on your best behavior. How about that? That's the reality. So when you get to a place where, like I said, I was single, so I'm coming home with just my crib. Let's say you don't even have kids involved, or you got a long-time girlfriend. Y'all really got to get to know each other for real. Because he's used to spending time with you, getting the fuck out of here. Right. Spending time with you, getting the fuck out of here. So how you gonna keep her happy when your keep her happy button is send her to the mall?
Right.
And that $500,000 check that you got last week, that ain't a $500,000 check this week. So when you come home, man, y'all don't know who y'all are. for longer than
Who that little nigga?
Yeah, for real. Straight up. Because you know what it is? You get into your room, you check in, do your check-in phone call,
right?
Go back to living your life. She go back to managing the house. A lot of my good brothers are who they say they are. Real God-fearing family men, and some of us like to play. And me included. I say I'm first. So anybody saying I'm talking too much about it,
right?
I was one of them.
I was one of them.
I was a team captain. So you know your wife for 5 minutes at a time for real.
Wow.
So hell yeah, she leaving your ass when that shit, when the shit that keep a
don't-
smile on her
right,
face ain't there no more. That resource ain't there no more. And it get different.
Never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
I never looked at it like that.
And that's another thing too, though, man. That's what y'all was leading with, y'all, because y'all had the money. Y'all thought that shit was gonna last forever. And like, listen, I'm gonna keep sending you to Mali. They continue to keep buying this crazy shit, and then once that money dry up, they leave. Cause you was leading with it. Again, understanding the fact that you never had it, and so therefore you thought that money was there, it was gonna be there forever. So you were just living life how you were supposed to live it. And again, that goes back to having the right people in your circle, bro. Having the right people in your ear. It's like, hey, I get it, bro. You got a lot of money, but this ain't gonna last forever, bro. Look at all the NBA players beforehand. They done went broke. They working regular jobs now. When they used to make millions of dollars, but they blew it. Then they end up having to repo, because guess what? Once you buying all this stuff now, and then once that NBA is over with, you still got to upkeep that stuff. You still got to continue to pay for this stuff. You still got to maintain it. But you ain't making the same amount of money no more. So guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to auction all of that stuff off. Repo all of it. Because you can't keep up. And that's why they're telling you, listen, bro. Even though you know you're making 54 million, let's be real. You don't need to spend the whole 54. If you want to be real about it, shit, bro. If your expenses are low, you can live on 10,000. You can live on 10,000, and you can just enjoy life. You don't need a $10,000 a month condo, especially if you're not gonna be there all the time anyway. You're not gonna be there all the time. You're always gone. So what's the point? You need something simple. Something simple. Hey, something gated, something that of course, you got the whole front security, of course, because you got some visibility. So of course. But other than that, you good. You don't need to go and buy expensive cars. You don't need to do none of that, bro. I know you want to, but you don't need to. If you feel like you want to stunt, go and rent it. Go and rent it for the night. Go and drive around. Go and drive around the city. Go to the strip club. Do what you do. Throw a little money and then call it a day, bro. You don't need to go buy it. You don't need to, because you barely gonna drive it anyway. You're gonna be going. You're gonna be on the road. Like you just said, you constantly on the road anyway. You only home maybe twice out the week. So what you gonna go and buy a Ferrari for? What you gonna go and buy a G-Wagon for? What you gonna go and buy this expensive car for when you gonna barely be able to drive? That's crazy. What you gonna get this extremely expensive condo for when you barely gonna be there? Just to say that you got it? Nah, G. You miss me with that. But understanding the fact that if you come from a place that you never had it before, of course you're gonna want to experience it. I understand that. I understand that side of it too. But you're still gonna need that person that's in your ear that's gonna be able to hold you accountable, that you trust and that you listen to. That's gonna keep you straight. Like, hey, you planning for the future, bro. You ain't planning for right now. I know you wanna blow all this money because you think it's gonna be here forever, but it's not. But it's not. But shout out to Lou Will, man. Shout out to them, bro. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. And make sure you hit the bell notification.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Right on, right on, right on. Where we at? Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna do shade, and then I'm gonna do. All right, so I got it. I got it. My dog. My dog Spaces. What's the word, homie? What is the word, G? Where's my?
Yeah, you right, man. Making money is me, man. 10 years, me and you gonna have matching Benzes. 10 years? Think more like 10 days, man. 10 days.
My dog. My dog Spaces with the $10. He says, just stopping by, showing my support and paying my dues so I don't get fined. Hey, man, listen, I was going to pay some tariffs. Listen, you was going to have to pay tariffs. I'm telling you, putting tariffs on everybody. I'm about to go live myself. Keep up the grind, my boy. Bad Chasers meet up in July. Hopefully not in DC. Listen, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to know where it's going to be at. I hope it ain't DC either. I hope it's not DC either. I'm trying to, I want to see what it's hitting for, bro. I want to see what it's hitting for. I haven't been to one yet. I definitely want to go. I definitely want to go check it out. So hopefully we get that information and then I can make adjustments and figure out what we're going to do then. So hopefully it ain't DC though. Hopefully it's not DC. But they'll let us know soon. Listen, bro, I appreciate you for the $10 though. I appreciate you. I'm gonna check y'all out once I'm done with the live. I'll pop up over there for a minute, show my love too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just watched Paid in Full yesterday. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, bro, I don't care if nobody say that's a classic. I might watch that today. I ain't gonna hold you. I might watch it today. That's a classic. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I'll be over there in a minute. I'll be over there after I'm done with this live stream, though. What up, Ambition? What up with you? How you feeling? What's good with you? All right, so look, we're gonna get into MTR, man. We're gonna dive over here with MTR real quick. O'Shea Duke Jackson, I guess, was going off on him. I don't know why, but I thought this was gonna be interesting. I guess about his time and him being in Thailand. So I want to see what this is about, and then I will give my thoughts and my opinions. So let's go ahead and dive in.
You a passport, bro? Oh, that means you just like to complaining so much about the treatment.
On May 7th, 2026, content creator Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews made a video called Why I'm Stepping Away from YouTube.
So long story short, I just need a break. I need a break. And for how long? I don't know.
He would go on to name 2 reasons as to why this was occurring. The first is he's been cancer-free for 5 years. And wanted to take some time off to celebrate that. And then also, he's never really healed from his father passing in June 2023. Thirdly, being a content creator posting every day is a burnout, and he wanted to refresh, but he didn't tell people where he was going. Then we saw this post. It said, "You did this more than I knew. Rest, reset, get back to yourself. The mission isn't going anywhere."
He's right, you know.
Now, MTR wouldn't post another video until May 28th, 2026, when we would then find out his actual location. I left America for Thailand and realized we've been lied to. That was the first of 5 videos that he would post on the subject. Now, while all 5 videos have different degrees of information, cumulatively, we can understand that his messaging is broken down into 3 components. The first is dating and relationships.
They want loud and strong, yet quiet and reserved at the same goddamn time. They want at a moment's notice that you got to defend their armor. You got to be the rough, tough, bad guy. All right. At a moment's notice, you got to be the Super Saiyan dick slinger. All right. You got to put that thing up on the table. You know, which, you know, from my experience, it's not too bad of expectations. But, you know, that corporate Tupac
blows my
mind. But as a man who is charismatic, you understand that there's a certain game that you have to play. In respect, like, how many of the dudes that are successful in the dating game but like low key are addicted to video games, right? But they don't let that component of their realness or their personality come out.
Now, it's important to understand that MTR has a much broader audience than me. I typically focus on Black people, and MTR has a focus that's more wide-ranging. But he did give a hint at the Black community here in talking about this idea of corporate thugs. In other words, you need to be a very charismatic guy to get the typical Black woman in America. You need to be very hood, then at the same time, very smart, then to be able to clap cheeks very good. And your personality needs to be stretched so wide to cover all of this territory,
it's a lot.
which really shouldn't be necessary.
Yeah.
But he would contrast that to Thailand.
When you're in a place where it's completely different,
The norms are
and
not
you're
there.
not held to the standards or the comparisons of those around you.
Now, in comparisons to having
No, it's not even that it's not there, because that is one huge component of it. But again, it is that I'm not assumed to be an enemy. And you just don't know when you walk up and you say hello, hey, what's up? How are you doing? If she gonna look at you at like you's a piece of shit. You don't know. So it causes a lot of dudes to be insular, to not say hello, to not engage, because for fear of that it may go in odd direction, or there might be a bad result, right? I talked about the story of me bigging up the girls over here in Atlanta, saying cheers. They're raising their cups up in the air, and a chick hits me with, "Oh, you gonna buy our drinks?" I'm just cheersing you. Okay. "Oh, you can't afford it?" And she wasn't joking. I said, "If you only know what I can afford." "Oh, what do you do?" She's screaming us across the goddamn, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this shit? Why is there not a respect here, even just based off of this that we're looking up on the screen right now? You said you share the same melanin. Why are we not on the same team? I've also talked about having conversations with young ladies that seemingly have great relationships with their fathers. Talk about their fathers like it's the world, but somehow
because, man, their fathers weren't in their life. That's why. A lot of them don't have the fathers in their life, and on top of that, they don't teach them those principles, as well as the mom. Because it's not always, because it's both parents combined that teach their daughters to be upstanding individuals, right? It comes from the mom and it comes from the father, because also if the mom knows how, the mom understands it too. Like, listen, you don't go out here begging for money. You present yourself in a certain light. You present yourself a certain way. You don't go outside looking crazy. And the father gonna teach you the same thing. Listen, you need to have dignity about yourself. You walk with certain confidence. You got to have certain structure. You got to have certain discipline. You can't behave a certain way in public. You can't behave a certain way. You got to move differently. You are a representation of who we are. You are a representation of us. So if you go out acting the fool in public, that's a representation on us. You making us look bad. So that's a reflection of us. So if you go outside acting a fool, that means we ain't doing our job as parents.
when it comes to their peers, the peer that is a man is the enemy. Why is there a cross to bear? Why is it? It baffles me that you are considered the enemy at first glance. It baffles me. But I understand because of the conscription of the content.
I can also say too, it's the circles too. It's the circles that you're in. In certain places, in certain areas, in certain spaces, a lot of people aren't behaving like that. When you go to certain areas, women aren't asking that question. They aren't looking at you, oh, well, are you gonna pay for us? Listen, that must be the type of environment. That's that type of environment you got to get away from. That's a no good environment. You got to get away from it.
That so many of us just sit down and look at. By the way, shout out to Osei. This is a beautiful video so far. Shout out to his editing team. He's just taking this to heights. O'Shea a couple of years ago versus O'Shea now, and it just goes to show if you keep your mind constantly excelling and working on your craft. I mean, this is amazing content right here. The editing that he's put together and the respect that he's given, you know, to my story, my cancer story, and as well as my father, you know, within that content. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, brother. Thank you. If you ever watched this.
Be the corporate thug for a lot of women, especially in the Black community. These norms don't really matter in places like Thailand. Now, I'm in Uganda, and Ugandans are Black, and just like Kenyans are Black also. But these parameters that Black men in America have to be under are not the same, even in African or Black-based countries.
So he's agreeing with me.
Such as Uganda, Nigeria, and Kenya.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why you have so many brothers coming here. You can be a good man. You can be a provider. You can
and a lame, as they want to call you, and corny, and a weirdo, and like all of these things that they want to label you. But I say just go where you respected, go where you're loved, go where you can be you.
I ain't gonna hold you, y'all. It sound good, but you take you wherever you go. You take you wherever you go. It sound good. You know, I know what a lot of the passport bros are trying to push. I get it. I understand it. It's new. It's refreshing. You know, it's a culture shock for y'all. It's different the way that they behave and move. But guess what? You still take you with you. And you think just because that these women, their culture is a little bit different. Listen, they be finessing y'all too. They finesse too. They'll take y'all money, and guess what? If that money dries up, they go on to the next person. Yeah. I want to say I'm not calling him a passport bro. I'm just talking about passport bros in general. I'm not calling him a passport bro though.
Unabashedly, they want to define for you what a real man is. How absurd. You can't even define for yourself what a real man is. And here's the thing. I'm talking about the backwardsness of this culture as defined by those that we call influential figures. But also, there's something to be said of you as a man not being strong enough within yourself to persevere, to push through that as well. And a lot of us do, okay? Irrespective of it. But many of us fall victim to it. We are lemmings within the same culture and society as well. So although I'm being hard on what's considered normal here, I also have to place accountability on those that will shift and change. What's that Julio Fulio trial?
Yeah.
And the young light-skinned boy who's going to be a good butt plug for the inmates over there. He had a fantastic life. He had a family that loved him. He's traveled, good schooling, but you want to go over here and be a gangster. What? And now you're done. Your life is over because you fed into the bullshit of what the media told you, brainwashed you into thinking that you needed to be masculine, to be a man. And now your life is over.
Hell yeah, I call me a lame. Man, listen, you call me a lame all day. I don't care. I'll be that. But one thing you better not do is disrespect me. I don't give a fuck who you are. But I understand where he's coming from. But I was speaking at it from a different standpoint though. I know because a lot of guys who do go over there is because they call themselves, you know, because a lot of people call them nerds, lame, and all that different stuff right there. And then they say, well, you know, the women are better over here, this and the third. Cool. But I was like, at the end of the day, you still take you wherever you go. It's all good. They may seem as if they're giving you the respect, but once that money dries up, they're going to finesse you just like the rest of them. I was coming from that standpoint. But yeah, other cultures, they do have that keen sense of respect right out the gate. It's just the culture in itself when you go to these other countries. Not all, but there are some countries that you go to, that is the first thing, respect. Out the gate. Respect, respect, respect.
have to fake the funk just to be around a lady
Feel me?
in these other countries, and they could still view your masculinity. And speaking of masculinity, well,
and they more than likely want a man that's already finished the race as opposed to running the race with you.
most women wait at the finish line in America. Women don't want you until you become somebody in America, which is typically how it works everywhere, to be honest.
One of the great markers of if she's a real one or not is if she was with you in the struggle.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Let's say you make it up there. Now, how do you define it? It's like you almost lose sight of that if you don't, you know what I'm saying, figure it out with a high school sweetheart, a college darling, right? Like, and you just out here in the free world just trying to figure it out. It's like you never know. And some of them will take 2.5 years before revealing exactly who exactly that they are. Okay, let's go.
You're a man in America and you're trying to build yourself to obtain the kind of woman that you want physically. At the same time, this woman is dealing with a man that she's attracted to who can't do anything for you. And then what often happens is the guy who becomes the producer has the advantage over the woman who's just sitting there waiting at the finish line. And then if you don't deal with this woman because you no longer want her or she has kids, somehow, some way, you don't like black women.
Yeah, they
you don't
shame
like
you.
American women, and you're just exercising your options. The issue is so many women have underestimated men that they never thought that these guys would become something.
Yeah.
So once these guys become something, they don't want you like you want them because you were not invested into their future.
Yeah, and then you start talking about going to a place like Thailand, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, there's lady boys over there. Like they shame you not to go. They don't want you to go over there and see nothing greener. No green pastures for you, baby. They don't want you to go to land of the smiles. You understand me? Because then you leave the market. Then they can't extract resources from you because you're not there anymore. You're simply not there anymore. So they'll shame you out of it. That's when they'll be like, wait a minute. You're a passport, bro? Oh, that means you just like to go over there for the S tourism. No. It's lifestyle. That's why I'm saying, I think I'm going to coin it. Visa bro, right? I still got to do polls on the channel. We got to figure out what it is. But a visa bro, we ain't talking about none of that at all. It's lifestyle. Lifestyle. Get it.
I get it. I see where he's coming from with it, and I understand it. There's a lot of people in this America as a whole. I understand, the women as a whole, right? Because we already know there's specifics, there's subgroups, subgroup of women who understand and, they fit the bill in regards to, they understand what respect is. They understand what it is to look at a man that's masculine and understand what it means to build with the man. They understand that, because they have those principles. They had the father, they had the mother, they seen it happen in real life. So they have those principles and it's still here in America now. Is it as prevalent? You can say yes or no to that. I guess it just depends on where you're at, right? I guess it just depends on your proximity, where you at, who you hang around, the environment that you're in. I could personally say that I'm pretty sure I come across it a lot. There are a lot of women who actually respect men. They actually value having a man around them. They actually value building with a man. They actually have those core values of understanding that there is a dynamic of man and woman. They understand that dynamic, right? And it doesn't take away from them as a woman, and it doesn't take away from the man. They understand the dynamic and what it means to be in a relationship, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, what it means to respect your man. That we want respect more than we want the love, because you respecting me is showing me that you love me. That's what love is to me. Like, you respect me, you understand that. But it's also, it's not something that I need to ask you to do, right? That's something that you already know that you should be doing in the first place. And of course, I have to also be the one that's doing those things. I have to also be presenting myself as such, like, hey, I demand that respect. I don't need to ask for it. I demand it when I walk through the door. So it comes with that in the territory as well. And that's why I'm of the same mindset of, listen, you need to build with the person. If you somebody you couldn't find that shorty that wanted to build with you, you couldn't find it because of the proximity that you were in, or the people you were hanging around, or the environment that you were in, and you get to a different level where now you got the pick of the litter. I'm just like, hey man, best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. I'm pretty sure you can find her somewhere. I'm pretty sure you can find that needle in the haystack somewhere. But you're gonna have to do some real serious vetting. And I think for the person that is growing, the person who hasn't made it to the level yet, I think communication becomes a really big part of it. It's like, listen, I know where I'm going. I know where I want to go. And you either going to be on this ride or you're not. But just understand that you are not bigger than the program. You aren't bigger at all. Just because you're the woman, just because you breathe, that don't mean you're bigger than the program. That doesn't mean I'm bigger than the program. Just know that I have a game plan. Just know that I'm following the purpose. That's what I'm following. I'm following the purpose. And I'm going to be working in that purpose. So I'm not going to be able to do certain things here and there. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to adapt with me? Are you willing to grow with me? Are you willing to build with me? And we communicate that the entire way. That's how you grow and build together. But a lot of people, here's the caveat though. Many people don't have those conversations. They get the box and then they just hang with each other. They aren't having real conversations. They talking. And then, hey man, we just talking, bro. You know what I'm saying? We just kicking it. We just kicking it. I busted down a couple of times, and all of a sudden, we together now. What? So y'all don't know the core values. You don't know where y'all trying to go. Y'all don't have a game plan with this relationship. Y'all aren't being intentional at all. Y'all just kicking it. That's what y'all doing. Now all of a sudden you fell out. I fell out of love. I felt like I was losing myself. What? I get it, because you didn't have the communication, and you realized that just because you was busting this person down and this person was attractive and they was giving you sweet nothings, y'all weren't having real conversations. I get it. Megan is a hoochie mama. However, you accomplished successful black men are going abroad, wifing up ghetto immigrant women in Dominican Republic, Thailand, even Africa. Some of these women are streetwalkers, hookers, not the middle class. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So I don't know what these guys, I don't know who they're dating or what type of women they're getting with. But he's talking about the culture in regards to respect. Giving that respect to a man that they don't get over here in America. That's where he's coming from with it. I don't know who he's dating. No, I don't know what type of women that those guys are dating, or if they are even dating other women at all. I don't know what they're doing. But what I'm saying over here in America, I'm saying as a whole, it could be seen as we don't get the respect that we deserve as men. But I also said that there's a subgroup of women that really understand that value, those core values of what that means, the dynamics of a man, and understanding the respect factor versus the love factor. And then of course there's that other side, they don't give two fucks. He said he lost it. Okay, now what? Like, hey, all right, you lost yourself. I bet. Go figure it out then. What you mean?
Out the rat race. Okay. Shout out to Gio. He says the sign language is real, beyond real, and it works.
Let me see what else we got.
Because I hear a lot of these young men saying the same thing. You tell them that you went over there, the first thing that they say, oh, you better watch out for the lady boys over there. Meanwhile, there's just as many, if not more, lady boys in the United States.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm like, man, it's lady boys all across the goddamn across the US, Thailand, and wherever else you go, man. They there. So a lot of them, here's the thing, and here's the bigger thing too. When they say things like that, it's shaming language. So you just let that roll off your shoulder. It's all shaming language. Because 9 times out of 10, them same shorties who up there giving you all the shaming language, they're the same ones that probably ain't gonna date you in the first place. Because you probably told them no, or you probably told them that you weren't attracted to them. You didn't told them something that they didn't like. So therefore, of course, they got to throw out They gotta throw all the shaming language out there. So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But shout out to MTR, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
What? For that. All right. So let's go. I want to go to this other one, man. Let's go to Earn Your Leisure real quick. I want to go to Earn Your Leisure. And they were talking to Country Wayne. So for those of y'all who don't know who Country Wayne is, he is a comedian. You know, he got started in the Facebook era when Facebook was popping and he was doing numbers. You hear me? Now, I don't see him as much, and that may be for a reason. I don't know. Maybe just my algorithm hadn't been plugged into him as much. But he talks about building his brand, growing his brand, making money, and all these different things. So we're going to dive into that, and then we're going to give our thoughts and our opinions. Before we do, let me read these comments real quick. You're absolutely correct, but at some point, Black men have to be able to identify that type of woman that is respectful. Yeah, they do. I agree. I agree. I definitely agree with the idea that Black men have to identify, but I also believe that those men who are of high respect and they demand respect, they put themselves in the spaces of those women who understand what respect is. They demand it. And let's be clear too. Those men who move like that, a lot of these women, they automatically self-select themselves and remove themselves anyway, because they know that they can't have that type of man. They know it's different. So they remove themselves already. They take themselves out the game. So that's why I say on the man's factor, when you step through a room, you automatically come through that room and you demand that respect. Not by saying it, not by speaking loud, not by saying, hey, you must respect me. No, you do that through your actions. You do that through because you got things going on. You got real emotion in life. When you walk through the door, they can sense that. They sense that confidence. You walking with your head, with your shoulders high, your head high, your back strong. You walking through, and when you walk through, there's an aura around you. That doesn't mean you need to be making millions of dollars, but when they see you, they understand that you are about something, and they become intrigued. They want to have questions. They want to know, who are you? But some people think that you got to walk through the door. You got to be loud. You got to be the loudest one in the room. You got to be loud. You got to be obnoxious. You got to be all of this. No, you don't. People notice you. People notice you. Real talk. They see you even when you don't even know that they see you. People watching. So it's all about how you present yourself too. That's the first thing when you walk through the door. That's how you demand that respect. You say his time has passed. You think so? You think his time has passed in regards to what though? No, he didn't. I know. I think what happened with I had spoke on this earlier though. But I think with Klay Thompson, I think the idea with Klay Thompson, though, I think it was more so it was something refreshing. It was something new for him, right? I don't think he was going to take her serious. It sound good, right? To make it sound good. He wasn't going to take her serious. And she probably presented herself a certain way. Like, all right, she cool, she chill, but then as time passed and she got more comfortable around him, she started to show a little bit more of herself and is like, man, I'm good. That can also be true. You know what I'm saying? But let me get into this super chat real quick.
Yeah, you're right, man. Making money is me, man. 10 years, man, you're gonna have matching Benzes. 10 years. Thinking more like 10 days, man. 10 days.
Shout out. Shout out to the homie High Tolerance with the 20 ball. Salute. Salute, big dog. I appreciate you, homie. I appreciate you for coming through, showing love. I appreciate you. Shout out to the bag chasers. They coming through showing love today. They showing love today. I appreciate you, dog. So Klay didn't take. Oh no, I read that already. He better not have took her seriously. He'll be an alcoholic. I don't think he took her serious for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he took her serious. But let's go ahead and get into this. this country Wayne topic, man.
Make it happy. But it gets you so close, you don't know the difference.
Did you? So, I mean, obviously, Facebook has been the platform, and yes, it gets funny with the money sometimes with it. Did you ever say to yourself, hey, let me branch off and create my own thing?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the data is not going to get shared with you.
Exactly.
But you can see the engagement, you can see the followers, but we don't know who's who. But
Exactly.
how did you manage to deal with that?
What I did, first of all, on storylines, you got a more engaged audience, but like you say, that's their platform.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing now, create my own platform, but I'm not gonna do the same thing. It's like, I ain't gonna use, because it'll take too long to build that business to where because you got to respect their work too. I think with a lot of people, like, I'm gonna go get my own platform, you forgot Mark Zuckerberg, work, you got to respect work. They put in work to build that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ready to give up 20 years of your life, you ain't finna build nothing in a year to catch them. Now streaming, it's easy to catch streaming, so I'm starting a Country Wayne streaming service that's gonna have movies and TV shows from the past that, you know what I mean, and serve our audience. I feel more comfortable in that because streaming ain't up to 10 years old. But that social media 10 years old, but it's too much going on. It's too much going on with it. So it's like, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing on that. But that streaming, what I really love to do, movies, I'm gonna do that because even Facebook not growing that much anymore. So you gotta think about it. You try to go create an app, man, them people it's hard to get people off Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, they're addicted.
And you can't have a competition. You got to do something that's different.
Yeah, you got to be like, we making money together because they bid out, and you got to look at it. You got to make something different. Make your thing. And I got my thing in my mind that I know I'm about to make, and that's going to be my $1 billion plate. You know, that's what so I don't try to create the same thing I'm doing over there because you're going to lose people. If you go to your own app, I'm getting 7,000 comments a video, 3,000, 4,000. I'm going to go over here and get 180. Yeah. And then the people going to eventually go back because they enjoy the conversation. They ain't just the video.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose that engagement.
It's a community.
Yeah, like Netflix got the game on lock. It's streaming. You're not going to beat Netflix, bro.
I want to talk about the $1 billion idea, but before my last question about the Facebook, can you give the audience some kind of idea of how much money somebody can make on Facebook?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. I got.
Here's the thing. Before he tells how much he's making on that, let's be real. Shout out to 2K because 2K that's what 2K started. 2K can give you that. You can make money. Here's the thing. You can make money on a lot of different platforms. Now, of course, there are different stipulations on how to do it and what to do. And all audiences aren't created the same, right? So you probably won't get the same audience on Instagram as you would Facebook and vice versa. Or you won't have the same audience on Kick as you would on YouTube and vice versa. So your audiences are different. And the type of content that you put out is different. But you can make money from a lot of different these places. Me, I'm focused on YouTube, right? Because I think YouTube is one of the hardest places to get it. And I know for the people who want to make their money quick and get that shit, get it quick, I get it. I understand it. But me, I'm trying to build this thing heavy. Because if I can master YouTube, I'll be able to master any other platform. That's the goal. If I can master YouTube, I'll be able to master any other platform. Because this is the hardest one to master. And then on top of that, because now I'll be able to get endorsements, sponsors, and then I'll know how to navigate that. Yeah. That's what I'm focused on. That's why I'm focused heavily on YouTube.
I made a good bit. I made a lot. But in reality, it's hard now, man. It's hard to make that money over there now because the pandemic gone. I got in when it got in. It's like people back to work. It's hard to catch engagement now. It's hard to make it. It's hard to get that engagement. Like I've been on Facebook since 2014. So to be honest, I don't want to lie to nobody. Like, you finna go over there?
Yeah.
But you could go over there and make some money though. You go over there and make you a 30 piece. That's a lot of money. You want to go over there and make you 30 grand? You can go over there and probably make 100. if you really grind and get people on you, but you got to do something unique.
Yep.
To get them hooked on you, to take them to their story and to get them to care enough. So that just
because you got to think too, man. The people on Facebook are older. That's an older crowd, man. Grandmothers, people over 40-some years old. They're the ones that's still on Facebook. So it's gonna be hard to get them. It's gonna be hard. That's a working individual, so they ain't on social media like that. They barely know how to use Facebook in itself. So yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get them. It's gonna be hard to get them.
If you really put in the work, you go over there. It's just like anything though. It's just like anything else. If you go put in the work over there, you can make some money. But I know a lot of people who it just don't work out for, because my money cut right now. But I'm at the top of the pyramid, so when they fall, I only fall to a certain tier. But you got to go there and grind, man, because I'm gonna be honest, you come over there with me, I'm dropping 40 a day, so good luck. Good luck, but more power to you. Unless you want to come over here to my page, I got a storyline for you.
It's new Death Row.
It's on a Death Row.
Come over to my page. Hey, I make sure you go. Matter of fact, people who on my page gonna make more money with me than they gonna make with Facebook, because I got the people attention. Because if the people going to another page, Country Wayne already got the comments. So even if I don't like Country Wayne, I like it. Some of my people who follow me don't even like me. They don't even think I'm funny.
It's an opportunity.
It's like they just following this. When you're up, you're up. You know how the game go.
I see what he talking about.
How many people do you have on payroll, like on a monthly?
What are you talking about, man?
Payroll, bro. That's getting paid through. Well, counting the people my producer pay, or just me paying them?
The whole ecosystem. Yeah, producer.
It's hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people for sure. Just me directly.
From like you paying your staff, and then
it's a pyramid. Bam, bam, bam. Brother. This brother pay about 10 people. They pay about 40 people, and them people pay about 10 people. It's hundreds of people, man.
So each producer got their own crew.
They got their own crew.
So you are running it like the dope game.
Yeah, like shoot, Mike. You know what I'm saying? They hate when I go on here and tell their business. But man, Mike making 7 figures a year. Chase making 7 figures. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other producers, I ain't gonna say their name, but they might make 400-some thousand a year. And out of that 400-some thousand, they might got to pay 100. They got 100. They got to pay out 100-some thousand. They got a few people making 20, 30. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pyramid. It's a business. You know, it's just like everything else. It's the dope game. It's just this trap house do this, this trap house do that. And I ain't gonna say it's a dope game, because that's what I thought growing up, because that's what I knew. It's really just business.
Yeah.
And
similarities.
And to grow a business, man, you got to have people out there making money. Because I ain't have to pay them. That was the thing I did to grow the business. A lot of content creators told me, why you paying them and you getting them famous on your platform? But I was making so much money. I'm like, I gotta share it. I don't need all this. So I knew if I pay, they'll stay. And eventually, while I'm doing stuff like this, they turn into a business and they trapping. And they go out there and grind, man. They'll shoot, man. Them people be in Africa shooting. Like the least of them was in Africa on a vacation, but they shot some skits. You know how much it would have cost me to do a storyline in Cape Town? I would have to travel there. So the fact that paying people, man, was the key. That was the key to really spread it and make the business really grow.
You said that there's a pyramid.
Listen, bro, you're gonna have to, at some point, you're gonna have to pay in order to scale. You're gonna have to spend some money in order for your business to scale, whether you want to or not. Because I know a lot of people talk about, oh man, listen, bro, it's just me, man. You got help along the way. Whether that help is somebody giving you tips, somebody helping you giving you a formula, or even you having to take somebody's blueprint and making it your own. You never did it by yourself. You never did it by yourself. You always had help along the way. And on top of that, you're going to have to come out of some bread too. You're going to have to spend some money in order to scale. In order for yours to grow how you want it to grow. Simple. That's just business 101.
And so obviously you have the empire that's growing and still, I mean, pretty expansively. How do you go about approaching your own solo deals, or is everybody part of that pyramid, right? Because you get the specials, you're doing touring, right? Is that's separate from
it's separate,
right? So how are you going about? Yeah, obviously. When the Amazon Prime money come in. So how do you go about approaching those and negotiating, right? Because you're saying, look at who I have following me, look at my engagement, look at what I've done on tour already. Here's what I'm worth. Or
that's the leverage.
Okay.
When you go in those rooms, they're never gonna pay you if you don't already got money. So everything I do on social media, if you watch me on social media, it's strategic. I never just post nothing. I bought a $700,000 Ferrari. I don't care about that car like that. But I knew I was finna be in these rooms with these execs. If I'm negotiating a deal and I'm negotiating with a guy who already got a blue Ferrari that we've never seen before, brand new, you gonna give me some money. Cause you know deep in your heart, I don't need yours. And I ain't bluffing. So I knew.
Yeah, because it makes sense because at the end of the day, I know some people may not understand, but that must mean this person knows what he's doing. If he's able to afford X, Y, and Z, then that means I'm gonna invest in them because guess what? They're gonna bring me back more money. It's almost like the presentation, right? One of the things is like real estate agents, right? Or even having a great lawyer. Y'all already know when y'all see the lawyer who got the clip-on tie, his suit is all baggy. He don't look well put together, and they're like, listen, you going to jail. If this is your lawyer, you going to jail for sure. And he got the slip-on loafers, you going to jail. But versus the lawyer who's well put together, well dressed, well groomed, everything looks right. Listen, standing up tall, clean fit. The suit is nicely fit and tapered. He looking great. Or she's looking great. It's like, hey man, you might win this trial. There's a difference. There's a look to it. So you're gonna be willing to spend more money in order to get the result that you're looking for. Same thing with real estate agents. If you're a real estate agent and you pulling up in a busted Honda, talking about you trying to sell a $5 million home, they ain't gonna take you serious. They ain't gonna take you serious at all. However, if you pull up in a taper suit or whatever it is, taper suit, and now you pulling up in the G-Wagon, or you putting up in a Mercedes, or you pulling up in some fly, or you pulling up in the Bentley, they're gonna take you a little bit more serious because that's gonna let you know, listen, you must have done a lot of work and you must have a very high success rate in getting the job done. So therefore, you're more likely, they're gonna look at you as, or you're more likely to get the job done to give me the result that I'm looking for. So yeah, it makes sense.
So that everything I got going on, it leverages everything else.
So it kind of goes back to dress for the job that you want. So look at it from that standpoint. So you bought the product. So if you know you're going into a space where you about to negotiate a big contract, so I'm not just gonna show up looking ragged. I'm gonna show up like I already got this. I'm gonna show up with the leverage of I don't need this, but if you want me, you finna pay me. If you want this, you're gonna have to pay me. And I got the result to prove that I know how to do what I do. I'm great at what I do because here's the result over here. So you either gonna pay me or I can walk.
It's like some people just come see me. They don't even think I'm funny. I'm like, I'm not their type of company. They might not like, but we like Country Wayne business though. So it's like people, that's what people say now. Like when people see me like, man, because people was hating, like he ain't funny, but I got so far, like he funny to somebody because he got a lot of fans.
Somebody laughs.
Everybody, a lot of people were saying that, but it was just like what it was. I wasn't goofy. So they looking for silly, but the next level don't let you be silly. So what it was, you're not gonna get out here and me. I'm not being a coon on stage to please a joker. Just because I don't curse on stage. But I knew, bro, this is funny. I don't care what you say. I know what's funny. I'm the cook. And eventually people who was saying that, now they trying to rock with me now. Cause like when you get that paper, you gonna respect it because especially a country boy. Cause country people.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I found Country Wayne funny. His comedy was different. It was funny. I found him funny. I did. And I still do find him funny. Because he reminded me of the uncle. He reminded me of that uncle. He was dead serious about a lot of stuff, but it was funny. Like, oh, you crazy as hell. He would give you that vibe, right? But at the same time, understanding business. This is what I'm telling y'all. Listen, hear me. Y'all, listen to me. If you don't get anything else from the Courtnee Edgar Show, understand this. You don't have to be the best necessarily in order for you to get to a bag. Because why do we do what we do? Why are we doing YouTube content creation? Why are we doing Instagram content creation? Why are we doing Facebook or whatever it is that you do, or Kick or whatever? You're doing it because you want to make money. Cool. You can talk about the topics that you want to talk about. You can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. But what matters is the business acumen on the backside of it. What matters is how you conduct business. When you start to do things with intention, when you have a strategy behind what it is that you're doing, it then becomes bigger than just the content in itself. People just look at the consumers, just look at it as, oh, this is content, this is trash, or you don't know what you're talking about, or you just a lame man, give it up now. This ain't for you, all that BS, but they don't understand the back end of it. They don't understand the content. They don't understand the strategy behind it. And that's where they miss the mark. That's where they miss the ball. Every single time. That's why I'm fond of Kevin Hart. A lot of people don't find him funny. I do, though. But on top of that, I admire most his business acumen. How he moves. How he went from doing stand-up comedy to being on stage, boom, to now he got all these endorsement deals with Chase Bang, Fabletics, all these different companies that he's working with. Doing acting and all these, and just really elevating because he has the business acumen behind it. Even doing his show that was on Netflix, choosing the next big star, the next big comedic star. We never seen that before. So that in itself is dope. So when you have the business acumen, and I always watch Country Wayne too back in the day, and I say he always had other things going outside of just making the content creation. So he already had the business mindset. And so these are the type of people that I learn from. These are the type of people that I look at. I'm like, how are they moving on the back end? Forget the content. How are they moving on the back end? What's their business acumen? What are they doing in order to get themselves and catapult themselves forward? So that's how I look at it.
Slow to people. So for a country boy to figure it out, man, people kind of like, hey, man, if he figured it out, we slipping, but everybody is slipping because they thinking old.
Yep.
They thinking the old way, and the old way been gone versus me. I got young kids, so I think like the YNs. I just don't act like them.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, there's new money out here.
Fact.
Like, that's one thing I like about Offset when he said in that song, Bad and Bougie, when he finally, instead of, because most people try to prove they had money back in the day. Offset say, y'all right, we ain't got a bunch of old money. Got a bunch of new money though. Right drop. I'm like, ever since then, them boy, they ain't look back because it's like, you right. You right. We were a bunch of knuckleheads walking around. We ain't have no money. We ain't not the old school hustlers, but guess what? Y'all don't know how to do this. Right drop. It's like that mentality, and me being from the old school and the new school, I know how to combine together. Come out, okay, yeah, it is new money, but the old school music and the old school TV shows was the best. And so I know how to blend it and be like, all right, yeah, there's new money out here, but soap operas hit back in the day. So I'm not finna get on here and do too many characters because that's gonna run out. How long can I be a character online before they be like, man, we tired of seeing that. But these stories about love and somebody in a skit looking at somebody like, I love you. I love you. I'm tired of cheating. I want to be with you. I swear to God. Like people, you know, I mean, the women don't heard that. That's the last time. You mean it? That's relatable. You know what I mean? The women don't.
Y'all ain't listening. Y'all aren't listening. I'm telling you. This is also another reason why the character, right? You got to keep up. You have to keep up that character. When you create a character, or you create this facade, or you create this personality, you got to keep it up. You got to keep it up. Now, some people have the capacity to do it. Some people have the bandwidth to do it. Me, I'm not trying to do that because I'll get tired. I'll get fed up of doing it. I'm like, hey, man, I'm tired of acting like this character. I'm tired of being this person. I'm tired of acting like this. I don't want to do this no more. Now I have to rebrand myself again from being this person. I don't want people to just only see me as this. I want them to see me as this. So that's why I just took a play out of somebody else's book. I said, you know what? I'm just going to be who I am. Be the authentic me. I don't need to be a character. And it's like, okay, well, who are you? Okay, I was born in Germany. I'm a man from Mobile, Alabama. Played ball growing up, played ball in college, went to the military, now work in corporate America. Now we building content creation. Now we building the strategy and we building the business on the back of this YouTube channel. Simple as that. That's what we doing.
Swear to God, man, never again. And you know how many men I've told this, man, I'm done cheating, man. Then that spirit coming you 3 days later, like, I feel the same way I felt then.
It didn't work.
So people watching skits like, this gonna last longer. Cause this is real, man. I see him in me. I really tried to stop cheating. I just left my woman's house. We just got finished. It's 40 minutes later. Why am I looking at her and texting her back and forth? So it was like, I knew it lasts longer because I see back in the day what worked. You know, and all the stuff we used to love. So I blended together, and social media is just it's a get money game.
Yep.
If you really look at it like that.
Yep.
But most people looking at social media for how they want to be looked at to the world instead of the world already know who you are. You can't trick nobody. If you want the world, you want to trick somebody, style social media, because back in the day, people could trick us because we couldn't see what they was doing. But now with social media, we looking at your eyes. Like, when somebody get on social media and we hear, and they be like, man, everybody gonna be okay. Y'all just, nah, you be like, you going through something. You want to say that in the pandemic when that PPP money was like
right.
People really, the fans really
they
are
be
smarter.
They be on that shit.
Than people think. And that's why creators mess up. So
they do.
I look at it like that. Like, these people are, the people who follow you are smart. They be like, man, they dumb, they followers. No, they're actually smarter because sometimes they realize I'm not gonna try it that hard to go make it. The bumps and bruises and stuff you might got to go through, it might be, I'm okay with she making 40,000, I'm making 50,000. We got our little barbecue and I get to go to my son's games. They living too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to, social media, a whole class, man. It's a whole class, but we all know the class, it was high school. So we just got to simplify it and start overthinking and be like, bro, everybody who go on social media, the problem with people, they act like they got money too much. So you never gonna get an audience if you starting with money.
That's why all of y'all getting on here acting like y'all are, like y'all too cool. Oh, bro, I ain't gotta see you working 9 to 5. Yes, I do. 1,000%. And I'm not ashamed of it. But the goal is to build something to where I don't have to do it anymore. I don't have to work a 9 to 5 anymore. You see it in real time. Listen, I am building my YouTube channel off the basis of I want y'all to see the growth throughout the years. So I didn't want to come in with the mindset faking the phone like, oh yeah, bro, this dude here, he making millions out here in these streets. He doing nothing. I didn't want to give that persona. I want y'all to see the growth from zero all the way up to wherever we get to. I want y'all to see the growth. I want y'all to see the incremental changes over time. That's what I want y'all to see. That's the authenticity of it. I want y'all to know I'm going to be bringing y'all along when things are starting to change, when I make big purchases, right? I told y'all before, when YouTube is going to be YouTube is going to pay for my first Rolex. And I'm going to bring y'all along with me when I show y'all this. I'm going to make content on that. Reason being is because it's not because I'm trying to brag to y'all, but I'm showing y'all I'm going to be showing y'all what's possible, what consistency is, what building looks like. It's sharing, it's y'all seeing the process. It's almost like a subconscious thing, right? You may not say it up front, you may not see it up front, but you'll go back, you're like, when I talk about it, you're gonna be inclined, like, you know what? Let me go back and look at his first video and see what he was doing in his first video. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. You're gonna be more inclined to go back and look at the first video. He's like, that's a big change from where he's at right now. So showing the process, being more authentic, being upfront and understanding that I don't need to be a character here. I don't need to play a character. I am who I am. And you see the growth over time. And again, YouTube's gonna pay for it when I'm able to buy. I always say, listen, when I buy my favorite car that I want to be able to buy it cash. No loans, no nothing. Cash. YouTube's gonna pay for it. And but when I say YouTube, I mean me creating this content that's gonna create sponsorships, endorsement deals, and different things like that. So that's what I mean by YouTube gonna pay for it. You see what I'm saying? So and witness the progress. So that's why we're doing what we do. That's why I never led with, hey, bro, I'm a big, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big dog. I made millions of dollars out here. That's why you should follow me. Nah, big dog. Nope. I'm not leading with that. I'm not leading with that. Not leading with it.
Everybody who popped me, DC, even Jess, they seen us low. So they grew with us.
They saw the rise.
They saw the rise. People who start with money, you get attention because they watching that, but they like,
when they figure
how
it
I know
out.
you came with that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like New York seen Jay-Z come up. So it's like, I remember, they were like, man, I remember he was just rapping with people who get big and stay big is people.
Let me show y'all the difference what I'm talking about. Because I don't think some people who gonna watch this video back when I clip it up, I need them to fully understand where I'm coming from. Look at this. Look at the difference. And mind you, I'm only at 2.7K subscribers, right? That's still small. That's still relatively small, right? Now let's go back and look at my first video that I've ever created. Look at this. First video ever created. Good morning. I'll turn it around once. First video ever created. All right. Yeah, already fucking ads at the beginning. Audio's different. Quality of the video's different. The way that I'm facing now is different. So the way that this video is facing is where I was back. My stuff used to be back here this way. So I was actually facing, my back used to be, the way that I'm facing now, my back used to be facing this way. So that's the window behind me. And I got the window in front of me now. Okay, y'all can't even hear nothing. So I still had to take out the loan and shit. And in order to finish school. This is crazy. Just look at the quality of this video versus now. And I still ain't where I want to be. Let's look at the second one. Not completely woman. Matter of fact, instead of me trying to explain to you, I'm just going to show you. Maybe y'all can better understand me. So just give me a second here. Let me show y'all this. This shit is crazy. It's crazy, bro. I swear. I was like, ain't no way, dog. I'm like, there's no way. Even the beard different. Look at that. And the man, look, listen. Nah, I'm just gonna let y'all listen to it first. I gotta let y'all listen to it first. Cause this shit was crazy to me. I was like, I'm like, how, Sway? You feel me? I'm like, how, dog?
The copy your balloon print. He seems
Hold up.
balloon print. He seems like volatile, dangerous. Like if I were to say like I'm not interested or something, he might accost me.
What do you mean?
Accost me, like
you see what I'm now y'all see what I'm saying though? Showing the growth, showing the real deal growth over time and the incremental changes from where you started to where you are now. And this ain't even the final form. Where I'm at right now, I still got other changes coming. I still got other things that I want to do.
Who they see grow. You know, and that's how social media is. You want to know a person. You want to, because if you pop up with it and we don't know how you got it, like, but I don't trust that.
They want to know your story.
They want to know.
Well, you say you don't curse on your skits. That's done intentionally? I mean, as far as like maybe religious reasons, or is it just you know that you're trying to reach a wider audience, you don't want to get demonetized? Like, what's the reason?
Everything you said. Man, you can't curse on them grandmas. Your grandma watching, man. And the advertisers don't want to put no money behind no curse word.
Yep.
It's like, one thing about Facebook and all them other, they do conversate with you, but they don't kind of conversate with you to conversate with you. It's like, they not going to tell you. They going to tell you by not, you ain't going to make no money. Because what advertiser, if I'm advertising the toys for Christmas or anything, if I'm advertising something, I don't want nobody to say MF or be beside my product. Because we wouldn't want that. It ain't gonna sell. So they do talk. They just talk through action, and they let you figure it out. Like you, because if they talk, the reason why they don't talk to people, because they'll get sued. Because the first thing we gonna say, man, I talked to them. You'll hear a joke on the podcast. They talk to somebody important. First thing they say, bro, I don't supposed to be saying this, bro. But I talked to such and such and such and such, man, and they told me this directly in the room. It was just me and them. Like, God damn. So now they held accountable, so they do talk to you, and it's like a puzzle. You got to figure it out. Like, oh, this is why they want you to do this. Oh, okay, they want you to do 3 minutes because if you don't watch it a certain amount of time, the advertiser's not gonna pay them. So they want you to make money, you know what I mean? But they can't trick the advertiser. So it's like it got to actually be working and they got to be engaged. The key word is engagement. It's like, when you get married, you don't say, I watched her, I engaged, I proposed. You know what I'm saying? Proposal, engagement, it's the same words that go with everything.
Action.
As long as you engage, that'll keep her stop asking about marriage for a little bit.
It's free game.
You said,
bro, y'all just got a strategy on how to build y'all platform. Real talk. You got pieces for me. I just showed you what the start looks like versus where I'm at today. We ain't even there. We ain't even where we want to be yet. He's giving you free game, which is one of the reasons why I said I'm gonna stop cursing on my show. I'm gonna minimize the cursing because it's a strategic play. If we want to reach if we want to get to a certain level, we want to start if we want to start getting the type of money that we want to get, we have to start evolving. We have to get better. We have to get better. He just gave you free game. So I get it. I know a lot of people, they want to curse. They want to say the most crazy, they want to say the craziest things. But I'm telling you, you can still say the same thing without all the vulgar language. You can still get your point across. You can still convey the message the way that you want to convey the message, and you don't have to do it. Because if you can still be able to reach the people and say the exact same thing that you want to say, but just don't curse. For real. So that's why I'm improving. That's why I'm challenging myself. Listen, you gotta minimize the cursing. Get better with conveying the message without having to use a curse word. Say less. Challenge accepted. So y'all seeing, you just got bits and pieces. You just got bits and pieces of what it means to actually build the business, not just from a content perspective, but from a business perspective. And now all you have to do is just find the things that continue to keep the people engaged. That's it. That's going to be the hardest thing. Figuring out, making sure that the people stay engaged. Figuring out ways to keep them engaged. That's it. And that's going to happen over time. You continue to keep showing up. You continue to keep keeping your foot on their heads, or however you want to, keeping the thumb on their neck, whatever you want to call it. You continue to keep showing up. Your face continues to keep popping up. Eventually, they're gonna be like, man, who this person is? Let me see what they're talking about. Oh, I like their content. Oh, I rock with them. I didn't take at first when I first started watching it. My mom was telling me, listen, man, y'all say too many MFers for me. It's too many MFers for me. Y'all got a lot of cursing going on, but I didn't take heed to it at first until I started to dive deeper into it and started to understand the backside of it, the business aspect. It was like, you know what? That makes sense. Because if my own mom don't even like to hear me doing a whole bunch of MFers and all this, I'm pretty sure there are other people who don't want to listen to the content either because it's too much cursing going on. And my goal is to reach a broad audience, not just a specific type of audience. I want a broad audience. I want people from all different walks of life to come over here and kick it with me. And how do I do that? I'm looking for prestigious. I want prestige. I want prestige sponsorships. I don't want the degenerate ones. I don't want the degenerates. I want prestige. So how do I get that? I got to improve. That's what evolving is. That's what getting better is. Those are the incremental things. Now, if people watch the video, they're gonna understand it now. They're gonna be like, okay, I see by how he was cursing and doing all this back then, but now he's not doing it as much because he's trying to reach a certain audience. He's trying to get to a certain level. He's trying to reach a certain type of sponsorship. Strategy, intentionality, consistency, work, building, progression, all of it. That's what we're doing.
It is bumps and bruises, and obviously people have grown with you and watched it. But what's been like one of those expensive mistakes that you made?
Expensive mistakes I made. Oh, the most expensive mistake I ever made. Oh, it was not monetizing earlier.
Oh, could you just say no?
I was letting a lot of my stuff fly on YouTube. I was touring. I was making the same mistake every entertainer make. I was getting so much money on the road. You know, and I wasn't making a lot, but I was making like $1 million a year at a time on the road, $100,000 a month or whatever. So I'm like, I ain't stuck my content, but I should have been focused on monetizing it. It took the pandemic for me to pay attention. I made the same mistake every entertainer make. Man, you get hot, you don't care about the music. Oh, they want to book me 50 for a show? Damn that contract, man. Sign the contract. I don't care. I ain't looking at it, man. Hey, damn that music. So I did the same thing. I was like, I wasn't valuing my content.
Appreciate you, bro.
So that pandemic came and that money got short. I'm like, hey, man. I started looking at everywhere for money. I was like, man, hope won't take God. I had a little
Exactly, Gabriel. Exactly. It is a turnoff. And we getting better with that. That's what we doing. That's why we improving. That's why we engage. That's why with the fellas over there at Banter and Barter Show, I'm telling them the same thing. Hey, we got to improve. We got to get better. Because I'm attached to it too. So therefore, if I'm attached to it, that means y'all got to improve too. We got to get better. But again, these are things that happen over time, right? These are things that we change over time. That's how we get better. That's how we continue. I showed y'all what the video looked like before to what it looks like now. So incremental changes over time. Yep, minimizing the cursing, minimizing using the N-word, minimizing all of that because we want the broader audience. But we still gonna be able to keep it real. We still gonna be able to be raw about it. We still gonna be able to be authentic about it.
15,000 in a savings. Man,
Man,
that pandemic made you find every, because I was broke, bro. That pandemic hit, man. I'm transparent. Well, I ain't gonna say broke because you know a lot of people going through it, but relative for me, I got that at 13,000 credit cards messed out, and my bills was 70,000 at the month at the time.
70,000 a month.
That's what they were then.
And you had 13,000 to your name.
13,000 credit card messed out. I was about to start selling NutriBurst. I had already did a commercial. I put it on my story. Somebody screenshot. You can put it up. I put it on my story. NutriBurst in an orange can. For somebody say, I don't believe he ain't drinking. I said, well, I ain't drinking the tea, man. I tried NutriBurst. I bought me a box truck. I about to pull up.
CDL?
Yeah. No, box truck, you need CDL. So I finna do the Amazon routes. I'm like, I'm Country Wayne, but you know, the hoods, the mask that came out. I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. So I had books of routes and everything. Thank God that week. I had finally a video showed me $70. I said, oh, I can try this then. I was gone.
So you was that close?
That close, and I didn't care either. That NutriBurst, I was going to shoot.
You gotta eat.
I gotta eat, man. I was out there with the females, man, selling tea. It's crazy.
Well, it definitely turned around for you because I want to talk about your transition even now to traditional like Hollywood because I was talking to one executive, I'll tell you who he is off there, but he was like, I couldn't even offer Country Wayne a deal. He was like, when I found out how much money he was making, it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
So you are now transitioning to Hollywood, like working with Netflix, working with Amazon Prime. How is that transition from going from just everything independent, working with major corporations in a more traditional Hollywood type of format?
I ain't gonna lie, I loved it. I was one of the ones throughout, man, I don't need Hollywood, but I ain't gonna lie, them chicks. I'm being honest. No, this prepared me for it. If I wouldn't have did this first, I would have, because to be honest, the skits helped me act better and learn how to do grounded acting. You know, I stopped being,
that's a fact.
You know, the comedy was in the skits. I used to be bigger like, man, you don't sit, hey, what's up, Uchi? All that stuff, it don't work on film. So that's why now the people on social media ain't gonna transition to film because that what make people laugh on the internet. In film, you got to make people laugh. No, I ain't going over there because I don't like you no more. But people on the internet, like, man, they ain't funny, they're lame, they're boring. So you got to kind of like, people, I didn't care what people say. So I always was going towards the real money, but the transition been amazing because I got the leverage of they know I got something else going on. And when you walk in a room like that, they can feel it on you. Because when you walk in that room desperate, they can smell it. But I be speaking, hey, let's make sure this deal right now, because y'all know. So this been a perfect storm, man. I'm gonna be honest, thank God, man. I thank Jesus because if it was, there's no way I could set this up the way it did, because the deals I'm getting, it's because the leverage I got outside of Hollywood. And I don't never walk, but I always was the type of person, I don't never like to walk in a room without leverage, because if you ain't got no food to put on the table, you gonna be the food.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't like walking in a room without leverage anyway.
That's a fact. Damn, spitting this stuff. That's a fact, though. That is a fact. You got to have the leverage. That's why we are building. That's why we are growing. That's why we are focused on the purpose, man. We're focused on, yeah, of course, we want to target more sponsorships, but that's secondary to what we're doing. That's secondary to what we are focused on. We're focused on creating the content. We're focused on showing up. We're focused on getting the engagement up higher. We're focused on the people. We're focused on building the ENG community. We're focused on that. Once we get that focused in and dialed in, now I can come to the people with leverage. Like, hey, man, listen, I got a community of people over here that's rocking with me. They rocking with me, right? So now I can walk in the doors and listen. If you under this number, I'm not even gonna entertain it. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Having leverage is the ultimate power, because you don't need it, because you don't need what the other person's offering unless it makes sense. Everything we gonna do is gonna have to make sense for us. We're not just gonna do it just off the strength of what we're doing. I'm not taking money. I'm not taking money from anybody that's gonna say, "Hey, listen, we want your entire we want to take over the creative process." Nope, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. I still want to be able to say what I want to say and how I want to say it. However, I do understand the business aspect of it, that things need to be cleaned up, and I will do that. Facts. Next up, Bull City. Next up, I'm telling you. Next up, I'm gonna come out. I'm telling you, I'm coming out of nowhere. I'm coming out of nowhere. I'm walking through them doors like, hey, I've been here. What you talking about? Y'all just didn't see me. I've been here. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. Because where a lot of people get it mixed up, they get the fame. They get the fame before they get the money. It's kind of like what happened to Ha Davis, right? He got the fame before he got the money. It's like, no, big dog, get the money before you get the fame. So when you walk into the door, it's like, bro, I've been had the money. You just not found me. You just figured that I've been here. I've been had this money. I've been had this motion going on. So the money aspect, that ain't nothing to me. I just became visible, more visible to y'all now. I've been making more money. I've been making the money way before the fame. So that's what we're on. We're on getting the money before the fame. That's where we at. So I just gave y'all some insight on the game plan and where we going. I just gave y'all the insight. And for the people who rewatch this video when I clip it up, now you understand it. And then you can become part of the ENG community. Because that's what the ENG community is about. Earned, not given. We earn it. We build. We grow. We invest. Monetarily and mentally. Sometimes physically. We invest. We improve. We get better. We don't stay the same. We continue to evolve. And then those people who are about that, those people who subscribe to that type of move, they become part of the ENG community. Simple as that. Simple as that. Coming out of nowhere, down pays the work in the gym that you have been doing. Right. I appreciate you, Fu Carey. I appreciate you. Because I already said I'm taking over Arizona. That's the first order of business. Taking over Arizona. Biggest YouTuber in Arizona. They gonna know. They gonna know. They gonna know. When you hear my name in Arizona, when you think Arizona, you're gonna say Courtnee Edgar. Yep. That's what they gonna say. Now, Arizona, that's Courtnee. That's Courtnee down there. Yeah. That's me. So, but yeah, man, today was fire. Dang, today was a good show. I'm not gonna hold you. Today was a really good show. I like this. Listen, I think Sundays work really well because it takes us into the week. Because we got the Anton Daniel show that we be listening to. I know a lot of y'all got the work week. Some of y'all are excited for Mondays. Some people are dreading Mondays. It's really dope. It's really dope. You brand new here, Brad Johnson. Hey, I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you for popping in. You late though. We start at 10:05 a.m. But hey, I ain't gonna blame you though. I ain't gonna blame you. Just not discovering me. I appreciate you though for tapping in with me. All right. But man, what? I'm telling you, it's gonna be hot in the city. But yeah, man, tonight was fire. Tonight was dope, man. I appreciate y'all for the people who supported the channel with the super chats. I appreciate y'all. Everybody who was engaging in the chat, appreciate y'all too. Sunday, y'all still got the rest of y'all day to go and kick it. Enjoy yourselves. And until next time, my good people, I'll holla.